Hello everybody, we should be live with the IGN first 20-22 minutes of gameplay with BioWare. How are we all doing? Just checking that we are definitely live. We have about 14 minutes to go until BioWare, or IGN I should say, reveal their first ever video coverage of Dragon Age the Veilguard, releasing 22 minutes of gameplay featuring John Epler and Corinne Busche, with IGN's own Kat Bailey chatting to them both. How exciting. I'm pretty sure people are thinking we're getting Qunari Mage gameplay, considering we haven't seen the Mage gameplay fully yet, and there is Qunari horns over here, hinting that we are indeed getting a Qunari Rook. And we can also see Scout Lace hiding over here, not with a scar. This could just be a shot from the ritual beforehand. Not too sure. Either way, we don't have long to find out. It's really, really exciting. So how are we all doing? Good number of you. Hello, Bill. Hello, Rose. How you doing? Villainous Kitty. Good to see you. Misha, how you doing? Good evening. Good evening. Good afternoon. Hello. Whoa. Hello, everybody. Ooh, I now see you all popping up. Yeah, I'm really excited to see what we're going to get, to be honest. It's been a while since I've actually sat down and done one of these, considering last time I did one I was in a hotel in London with really, really crap Wi-Fi. So I'm super, super excited to see what we're going to get and fully being able to enjoy that now with you all in proper decent quality with a good internet connection. Have some tinfoil and break it all down. I do have my tinfoil hat right here. I will put it on later. Good morning. Oh, it's the morning for you, Aquason. Very nice. I literally just scrambled from work and got here and sat down. I got home like 10 minutes ago. I am fortunate that they do, being in England, the time zone is good for BioWare content because it happens in my evening. So I can get home and really kind of just chow down on the content. Whereas if I was at 9 a.m. in America, for example, I would be going to work and I wouldn't be able to do what I get to do. So yeah, no, it's brilliant being able to do it over here. To be honest, I can appreciate. I mean, it's probably nice having your day start with Dragon Age content and then going to work like, oh. But for me, it's after work, which obviously means I'm exhausted. But no, it's great. I am very fortunate to be a creator in this time zone where I can just jump on that. Morning for you as well. Morning here in Canada. Same old, same old. I always ask everybody, where are you all watching from? I just love to see just the just how expansive this fandom is globally. 5 p.m. for you, UK or Europe? Hey, City, yeah, nice, City, nice. 6 p.m. so Europe, nice. Evening as well. Yeah, exactly, Misha, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, not long to go at all. We've got 11 minutes. What are everybody's expectations? I can read out to you what it. I hate that noise. It's my Creative Cloud telling me it's updated. Go away. IGN have said, check out 22 minutes of new and exclusive gameplay from the Veilguard with IGN's Kat Bailey chatting to BioWare's Corinne Busche and John Epler. And stay tuned all September long for exclusive Veilguard coverage as part of IGN First. So this is just the first bit that we're getting from IGN First. They'll have an entire content schedule for September, so there's plenty of IGN content to feast on this month. We've just came out of August. August, where we had the release date, we had the Companions Week, we had the high-level combat, and loads of other things with the release trailer actually as well. And now, already in September, we're jumping into IGN's first content. And it's already starting strong, pardon me, with 22 minutes of gameplay. Isn't that brilliant? Oh, what is everybody saying in the chat? Sorry, it is flooded. Louisiana, England, Brazil, Wisconsin, Romania, Finland, EU gang, Netherlands, Pennsylvania, Australia, Netherlands. LB, you are so welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching me. While reacting to this, I'll be very quiet. I'll try to be quiet. Sorry. Let me rephrase that. While watching this, I will try to be quiet, so you can all really, really listen. I might even put it in full screen mode. I'll keep my face in there. But yeah, I will. I'll be quiet. Try to be. But for those who don't want to listen to me, the link of this IGN video is in the description, or it should be at least, so you can watch it without me, and then always come back if need be. But I'll aim to be quiet unless we literally like see the Dreadwolf. And then what we'll do is we'll go back all over it again and again and again, break it down. So you're going to get my instant reactions to it, my impressions, and then we can slow it down, focus on bits and stuff like that. Make it full screen? Okay, what I'll do is I'll make it full screen while we're watching it then. We've got, okay, oh, now I'm getting conflicting. People want to see my face. Ah. Hey, Emily, you haven't missed anything just yet. We have 8 minutes. 8 minutes. So, oh, York, hey, ALF Beauty, nice. I'm in the north too. Folks, do you want to see my face or not? Do you want to see me reacting to this or not? I feel like you would be watching a reaction if you didn't want to see my face, but I also respect and appreciate you all who just wants to watch this. Give me a vote 1. Vote 1 if you want to see my face. Vote 2 if you want me to full screen it like this and not see me. 1 for me, 2 for not me. This is a reaction, so I feel like I should just do me. But, yeah. See, 1 or 2. 1 or 2. 1 me, 2 not me. Yes to the face. Yes to the face. 1. Okay. Okay. Folks who don't want to see my face. Okay, everybody wants to see my face. Oh, chat, you humble me. Thank you. If you don't want to see my face, there's a link in the description so you can watch the actual gameplay itself. With this being a 3, of course we're not here with vote 3. Yeah, democracy. Me too, Ivan. Democracy says everybody wants my face. If you don't want my face, you can watch the link in the description, or you can watch it and then come back. But it's a reaction anyway. You know, I feel like you all know that. I'll be very quiet anyway. Well, I'll try to be, but you'll see my face. Yeah, DT. Thank you, DT. Yeah, thank you, chat. I appreciate it. Anyway, thank you all so much for joining me. You're all from so many places, from states in America to Europe to the Netherlands to Finland. Massively appreciate you all joining. Generally, like, in a few words, because we've only got 7 minutes left, but what's everybody's kind of reception currently in the moment on the 3rd of September of Dragon Age media and like the marketing campaigns? What's the current level of hype? And I don't mean hype like, oh, I'm so excited. Just what's the current vibe, the current mood? You know, I see so much in the fandom, but I do isolate myself in some regard of I'm on Twitter and stuff, but I'm not on that many social medias, and I've also just been a busy bee with my own content and then catching Taylor Swift and doing my own stuff, so I don't fully get to know everybody's opinions. So what's everybody's opinions on just the current state of Dragon Age right now? Just in a few short words so I can kind of read a few things. Oh, Niku, I adore the podcast. Yes! How good is it? Vows and Vengeance, it's so good, isn't it? Yes, it's brilliant. Nervous, Lysandra? Why are you nervous, Lysandra? Hopeful, Zay, Prussia? Yeah. Hyped? Really want to play it? Yes, same. I'm rattling the bars of my enclosure, wanting to play the game. Wicked Fox? Yep. I will drink water to that. I will toast to that. The podcast is so good. So happy to see less negativity. Same, Nicola. I keep myself out of those circles. Of course, I still see negativity in my comments and stuff, and there's, you know, you still see it out there surfacing online. And I'm not saying negativity is bad, but there is a lot of, like, you know, BioWare woke or SJW this, and it's like, really though? Really? Can we not have a formulated argument based on fact and actual proper, you know, statements, even subjectivity, but can at least have a point as opposed to complete silly conjecture? Like, I want an actual good point to be made as opposed to somebody just saying it's not going to be good because of like, I want an actual good point. Whereas actually talking about layoffs, talking about BioWare's previous crunch conditions, talking about so many negative aspects of the community, oh yeah, completely understand those aspects of it. But when you just get the same repeated argument made by the same kinds of people, that's where the negativity for me is like, you just kind of clickbaiting at that point. I want an actual structured negative-based argument. Anyway, moving away from that, you get my point though. I know you kind of, at least, yeah, like PC Gamer, as iCity says, like, it's exactly. Already pre-ordered. Looking forward to seeing the home base. Yeah, I wonder what we'll see today. There was a hint at potentially a character creator. We'll see. I hope they need to release a demo. Like, sorry, pretend this is my, like, proper full-on speaker to BioWare. Please, BioWare, if you ever listen to me, release a early character creator demo of the Veilguard so we can all create our characters, like, right now, as opposed to in a mad rush in a month's time. Isn't it crazy that Dragon Age is coming out in a month's time? Jack, will you play through once before doing content? Yes, for sure, for sure. Thank you, Nori Hicks. I appreciate it. Already pre-ordered. If we get the character creator, I will scream. Oh, same. Oh, self-imposed rule. Closed eyes and skip for the first 20 seconds to avoid spoilers. Yes, there's a chance that we'll be seeing spoilers. That is, yeah. I did tweet that as well. Just in case there is a chance we may see spoilers. Exactly, Alf Beauty. Dragon's Dogma style. Exactly. 2 months technically. It's next month though. It's 2 months technically, but it's next month in October. Yeah, exactly, Stuffed Dodo. That's a good mindset to have. Excited every day is just waiting. I get that, Escalucia. Escalucia. Yeah, so many of you so excited. It's brilliant. It's brilliant having an excited community. I need the character reveal. Sorry. I need the character reveal yesterday. I agree. That's the thing. We may be getting spoilers, so everybody just in case, prepare yourself for that. Apparently, according to Shinobi on the BioWare social forums or something like that, we're not getting the ritual scene again. Again, we don't know. It could just be after, but we don't know. So we'll see. Ooh, what did Wicked Fox say that you agree to? I wish they wouldn't spoil so much. Again, though, it just... Yeah, that's the thing about... Like, everybody has different definitions of what a spoiler is as well. It's like, ooh, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Hello, DeCaster, how you doing? Rattling the bars out of our cages, Jack. Rattling! As you should, Villainous Kitty. As you should. I also have a countdown on my phone. Yes. 58 days. Yeah. Ooh, Theron. What's your favourite Twin Night story, Jack? Ooh, I love Dreadwolf Take You, of course. But I love Down Among the Dead Men. And I love 8 Little Talons the most. Hello, Aru. How you doing? Chris Sparrow. Ooh, I hope they don't do it. Please. Please don't kill Varric. Maybe we'll see that today. Yeah, just again, folks. Be wary of spoilers here, there, maybe. We've got 60 seconds, folks. You've all voted to see my face. I'm going to hide the chat. Go away. I'll put it in full screen on this, at least, when that pops up. But yes, you've all voted to see my face and my reactions. I'll try not to scream too much. And I will turn my volume up, too. But yeah, not long at all. Not long. Yeah, no, Varric, please don't die. I will make a cracked egg if Varric dies. Okay, so it should be starting any second now, folks. Are you ready? What do we want to see? We want to see the character creator. Mage gameplay would be great. Seeing a Kunari Rook would be great. Yeah, I'm just excited to see more of the game, to be honest. More of the game. And see whatever the start of IGN's coverage and what that will bring. Any second clowns. Oh, it's been a while since I've seen a clown emoji. Oh, we love clowns. Varric has made you dead. Don't say that. Do not say it. I'll put the tinfoil hat on. Antivan Crow Rook would be great. There we go. Okay. Mage Rook. Yeah, exactly, Theron. Okay. It's just turned 5. We are waiting with bated breath. We are waiting. It is 5. Oh, here we go. Okay, folks. I will be quiet now.
Star Wars Outlaws, available now.
Play Star Wars Outlaws on Xbox.
Okay. We have another countdown. How loud Is that too loud? Is that okay? I'm going to put this really loud so you can all watch it, and then we will go to me later, so it's okay if you can't hear me scream. But it's going to get pretty loud. There we go!
What's up, everybody? I'm Kat Bailey, and this is our extended look at Dragon Age the Veilguard's gameplay. I'm here with BioWare lead developers Corinne Busche and John Epler. Corinne, what are we looking at today?
Hey y'all, so today we're going to be helping out one of our companions, Davrin. This is part of his personal arc to rescue the griffins long thought extinct. We're going to take a quick journey through the Lighthouse, your base of operations. We're going to head into the Crossroads and make our way to the dark swamps of Hossberg wetlands.
So you're in the Lighthouse, as Corinne mentioned. This is your base of operations that you inherited willingly or unwillingly from Solus. It is located in the Fade. It's where Solus was able to start planning his rebellion against the Elven gods millennia ago. Right now,
Don't buffer. No. Oh,
you and your team have occupied it, started to build it, started to shape itself around your personality.
Oh, we got
As
some
Corinne mentioned, we are going to go talk to Davrin, who is located up above.
Oh.
And each of these spaces kind of shapes itself around your companions as they live there, as they basically spend their arcs in those rooms.
And we see here the glowing light above indicates Davrin's ready for us. Let's check in with him.
Something wrong?
Got a message. Place called the Cauldron was attacked.
His voice.
At some sort of Grey Warden tavern.
It's a secret Warden readout. No idea what goes on there.
Then why are you involved?
Because whatever attacked it sounds like the Gloomhowler.
Ooh, Gloomhowler.
So earlier in Davrin's arc, you were introduced to his nemesis, the Gloomhowler, a creature that's been hunting and stalking wardens for quite some time. It's kidnapped a bunch of other griffins. Davrin has been trying to track it down. Now he's got a lead, so we're going to go find this and go track this thing down.
Now, Davrin, he prefers the direct approach. We're going to choose a tough response and see if we can get his approval.
Then let's get rid of it.
Had the same thought.
Hell yeah.
What's left of the Wardens are still licking their wounds. So we handle this alone. Just go to the Cauldron and get the griffins back. You have to promise to behave, boy. Listen to every word I say, stay out of trouble, don't do anything dumb, and don't eat any.
I think we get the point.
Oh, he's
Lance
adorable.
and Remy told me there's a word for the bond between a griffin and Warden moving as one. Turlum. Until Hassan and I have that, I'm supposed to keep him safe.
I have to say that I find the griffin adorable.
Actually, yes.
And
yes.
very importantly, I know this is a question on everyone's mind. Yes, you can pet Hassan.
Yes.
Well, thank goodness for that. And all right, what are we going to be doing next?
He's up for this.
All right, we're going to finish getting this information from Davrin on the Gloomhowler, and we'll be off to Hossberg and the Crossroads.
Between Warden and Griffin starts by having faith in each other.
Maybe. I suppose you were born for this sort of fight, boy. All talons and temper.
And a sharp tongue to remind you of it.
As long as he backs it up.
He's so cute.
So I assume that Hassan can be helpful during the gameplay.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, a lot of Davrin's abilities revolve around calling Hassan in the heat of battle. I in particularly love when you're going against enemies. You see Hassan swoop down, especially if it triggers a combo between your companions.
As Corinne mentioned earlier, one of the interesting, fun things we've done is if you see the lights on in a room, companions have something to say. You can see Harding up in that space there, Nev behind you as well, and Belara. But we have a mission ahead of us. We're going to go find the Gloomhowler if we can.
Talk to Harding.
And we're going to go through the Crossroads in order to do that. And the Crossroads if you've played previous Dragon Age games, Trespasser in particular is a location in the Fade that contains a number of alluvians, allowing you to travel across Thedas in a matter of minutes. But at this point, the Crossroads are under assault by the other elven gods. It's a dangerous place, and we are going to be in for a bit of a fight.
And this alluvian, the Vera Voss, is the central focus point of the Lighthouse. This is going to take us to Solas's pocket area of the Crossroads, and it might look a little bit different from what you've seen in Trespasser.
Let's see it then.
Can you tell us a little bit about the role that the Crossroads plays in the structure and the gameplay?
Yeah, so the Crossroads is, again, it's the area that you spend a lot of time traveling through as you go from area to area. It's also a space that has, at one point, served as Solas's main base of operations and training ground for his rebellion against the elven gods. So as you go through it, you're going to find fragments of the past, the things that Solas had done previously that are going to give you a bit of insight into Solas as a character, but also into the elven gods and their motivations.
Sick.
Some of my favorite content that you'll find if you go exploring in the Crossroads is these opportunities to actually relive some of the memories Solas had during his rebellion. You actually get to take part in this ancient rebellion.
Take part.
And here we have the Caretaker, a mysterious spirit that was actually here before Solas was, and started to help Solas with his rebellion, but also to turn this into a safe haven for spirits. Again, as I mentioned before, the gods are assaulting the Crossroads, so it's no longer the safe haven it once was, but you're going to work with this Caretaker through quite a large amount of ancillary content to rebuild this into that safe home for these creatures that, if anyone knows Solas, he has a tremendous amount of affection for spirits.
All right, now we're going to get into combat here, and this time we're playing as a mage.
Whoa!
Now, mage is one of my favorite classes to play. It's primarily a ranged attacker, and when we're surrounded by swarming darkspawn, I really have to use a variety of strategies to control the battlefield. I'm going to use my heavy charged attacks to knock down these ghouls, get them out of the way, and of course, darkspawn are vulnerable to fire. So we made sure to equip our fire staff, have our fire abilities on hand.
You may notice something about the Darkspawn too, is that they look a little bit different than they have previously. And part of that is because Gillenane, who has always been focused on using the Blight as essentially a crafting material, a way to alter life itself, has been enhancing and changing these Darkspawn as part of her army.
Knew it!
Corinne, I noticed that you were doing a combo opportunity. Can you tell us a little bit more about how the role that plays in the actual combat?
Yes, so the combat system in this game, the deep strategy behind it is really to manage the various abilities your companions and Rook have in concert. So in this case, Harding has a combo opportunity with Shred. It's going to apply the Sundered effect and deal a high amount of stagger. Now you'll notice I can combo that with Rook's ability Spirit Bomb. That's going to cause a detonation combo.
Oh, sick!
So, again, one of the things you'll notice about the terrain here is it's very snowy, very mountainous. The Crossroads is a realm that reflects the waking world. In this case, it's an amalgamation of all the real world spaces that are tied to it. In the case, we've got Hossberg, we've got other mountainous regions. So it's kind of this mix of the swamp. And as you'll see, as we move towards these alluvians, the architecture around them very clearly reflects what's on the other side. We're not going to spoiler and tell you exactly what's on the other side, but you maybe make a few guesses based on what you're seeing.
Oh my
Do I have to do the Crossroads, or can I just fast travel right through?
So it depends how you progress through the game. The first time you go to any of the new regions in the world, you'll traverse the Crossroads to get there. Subsequent times, we of course support fast travel, but it behooves you to actually go back and explore the Crossroads, as some of the deepest secrets lie within.
So cool.
So now you're in Hossberg Wetlands. It's an area that has been almost completely consumed by the Blight. The Grey Wardens have set up an outpost here. Again, if you know anything about the Grey Wardens, they fight the Blight anywhere they see it. And they're noticing something strange is going on here. The Blight is not behaving as they expect it to, and as it historically has. So they've set up shop in this place called Lavendel, and you are here to work with them, help them out and help them find an answer to the questions about the blight that they're asking.
There's the child from the
Tell me a little bit more about this area.
Gameplay.
It looks a little bit like a hub where you can get a lot of quests and things like that.
That's right. So here we find one of the bases of the Grey Wardens. So you'll see they've really built up a small fighting force here to hold off the Darkspawn. What's more, the Grey Wardens are a faction we're going to be working with throughout the game. We've got Holden, one of the Grey Warden quartermasters.
Nice UI.
We're actually going to upgrade his shop and see what items he has in store for us, see if maybe it gives us an edge in combat.
Sick.
And the Grey Wardens, much like the other factions, they understand the stakes of the gods being out. They want to help you, but you need to help them first. They have, again, as Corinne mentioned, they're holding off the Darkspawn here. They have other priorities, so getting them more powerful allows them to more meaningfully contribute to your fight against the Elven gods.
So where are we going next?
All right, so we're heading out of the Grey Warden Fortress into the small town of Lavendel. Now, this used to be a beautiful place full of life, flowers, and you can see what effect the blight has had.
Wow.
But the residents are still here. They're trying to make the most of their lives, and you can see there's plenty of opportunities to help them. In fact, we're going to quickly check in with Finn the physician and see what he has in store for us.
So Flynn, again, one of the focuses of this game is characters, not causes.
I've been busy with patients, but I'm short on medical supplies. My mentor, Oscar, he should have some. He has a cabin outside the village. If you're out there, tell him you saw Flynn, and they could use his help.
And Flynn is a warden who you will do quests with. We wanted to make sure that the side content of Dragon Age: The Veilguard felt as meaningful and tied to the overall conflict of the game as anything else you do. We don't want you to just go off and do random tasks. Everything needs to feel meaningful, either contributing to your fight against the gods or contributing to the growth of your companions and the factions that you need at your side to stop the gods.
You look a bit worried.
We're not sure where some of our wardens are, Beckett and a few others. We're supposed to check in. We need to look out for each other more than ever. It's just, I know they took Weishaupt hard, and I hope they're okay.
All right, so we picked up a couple of quests in Lavendel, but we're here to help Davrin. So we're going to make our way through the perils of Hossberg and try to get to this Warden Fortress of the Cauldron.
Blight.
Seeing a lot of kind of organic matter. I suppose that's the blight.
Absolutely. So the blight at this point, as mentioned before, the wardens understand it's changed. It's become a lot more organic, a lot more alive. You know, back in Dragon Age 2, Inquisition, Origins, the blight, while it was a slow-moving wall, it didn't have this almost sentience, this almost thought behind it. And obviously we've talked about how the gods that are out are blighted. That probably has something to do with it, and it's made this area far more dangerous than it would have been before.
And you might notice as we get into combat with some of these Darkspawn that they do look a little bit different than before.
Oh, yeah.
And that's very intentional. Gillenane, the god of monsters, she uses blight like a medium to sculpt and warp the Darkspawn to do her bidding, to suit her purposes.
Cool.
So right now you'll see a couple of Hurlocks, one with some pretty disgusting growths on its back. Again, the idea that the Darkspawn and the Blight is an organic weapon. They're not just coming out and, making swords, making armor. They're using the Blight to augment themselves so they can more effectively defeat you and also give the gods the world that they desire.
Sick.
All right, now I'm actually going to switch to my Orb and Dagger on the Mage. And those of you that were fans of the Knight Enchanter in Dragon Age Inquisition, you might feel right at home with this.
Wow.
This is a more melee-focused, more agile version of the Mage. One of the main mechanics here is you can use this elemental orb to apply stacks of elemental damage to the enemy and then unleash them with your dagger to detonate them.
So, again, we're in, you'll notice that there are Blight pools. The Darkspawn aren't just coming out of nowhere. The Blight is spawning them. Again, part of Gillenane's attempt to turn this into an army for the gods is to use these Darkspawn, not just, again, whereas you have the Venatori and the Antam, one case representing magical power, in the other case representing physical strength. The Darkspawn are representing overwhelming force.
That was a pretty clutch heal a little earlier, by the way.
You know, we've talked at length before that our fans have asked us, where is the healing magic? Can you bring it back? And Nev in this game, happy to oblige with a kit of healing spells.
Nice.
So one of the interesting things that I love about our companions is each of them, their abilities, the way that they're built, they're very thematically appropriate to the character. They're very focused on making sure that the gameplay and the narrative are as closely aligned as possible. In the case of
Zipline!
Nev versus Vlar versus Amrik, our mages, each of them has a healing ability that is thematically appropriate to them. It makes sense when you know them as a character.
Watching you play, I'm struck by sort of the size and the scope of this particular area. It seems like there's a lot of exploration that I can be doing right here.
That was really one of our goals with these areas. Of course, we are a mission-based game, but we really emphasize player autonomy. You can revisit these spaces. They're full of secrets, puzzles, some pretty incredible bosses and treasure. And of course, as we saw earlier in Lavendel, some really narratively rich side quests.
One thing that's interesting is you'll find we're going on a quest for Davrin, but Davrin is not currently in our party. That's because Davrin has gone ahead of us and is waiting for us at the Cauldron. This is, again, we want the followers, the companions, to feel like they have autonomy.
Oh, amazing.
And while they won't complete the quest on their own, they will go ahead and get things ready. So when you get there, you can have you talk to them, you'll have a conversation with them, and it feels like they are as invested in the success of their journey, their stories, as you are.
This looks like a pretty contiguous zone, is that right?
It is, yes. So it's full of branching paths, different areas to explore. And what I love is the more content you do in the area, the more shortcuts you're going to discover. You're really going to have a lot more flexibility in how you navigate between your remaining missions and quests.
Well, I think something really interesting, too, about the way that our team has built these spaces is there's the idea of each space has its own story to tell. And while those quests, you know, we talked earlier about those quests and side quests being narratively relevant, they also contribute to a more of a meta story about the space itself.
Oh, yeah.
So in the case of Hossberg, we talked about how this is an area surrounded by blight, and you're kind of getting to the center of what exactly is going on in Hossberg and Lavendel, and these quests that you do and the content Corinne is currently engaged in helps to tell that story.
All right, we can see our companions are up here attacking this Darkspawn on their own. Let's give them a quick hand.
Kick him. Hey.
All right, and I love positional gameplay, making use of the environment to your advantage.
And I just saw that you could do a takedown move, so it's kind of a finishing move.
You can. Now, in this particular build, I'm really focused on using necromantic energies to siphon life force.
Nice.
But if I, for instance, wanted to go the stagger route, I could go a full takedown build if I like.
Ooh,
it's a really powerful, heavy-hitting style of gameplay.
There he
All
is.
right.
Davrin.
So you'll notice Davrin is waiting for us. So let's go see what he has to say.
The sun.
The sun flies in.
Yeah, a bad day at the Cauldron.
What could do that?
What have they been hiding inside?
So something tore through the gate. That's probably not great. Looks like we should probably get moving.
We won't find out standing around here.
Be ready for anything.
So because we don't have Davrin in our party, he's going to move ahead and wait for us while we bring Nev and Harding along to clear a path for ourselves to find Davrin and get to where he is.
Can you talk a little bit about how Nev and Harding sort of synergize during the combat?
Yeah, so Nev and Harding, Nev is a mage, Harding is a rogue, and each of the classes, you can build a party entirely of one class if you want, but the idea is that the classes synergize and they can set up and detonate each other's abilities in a very interesting way. Now, because you have a lot of freedom in how you build your character, You can, again, as said, you can have all rogue party, all mage party, all warrior party. It still works. But in this case, Nev and Harding are very effective at setting up and detonating, in this case, as Corinne's going to show.
So we're in danger here, and this is really what I love about the tactical layer of combat. If you get in that clutch situation where you've got this devastating incoming attack, great time to pause gameplay, weigh your options, and in this case, I'm going to go back to our combo here and see if I can just quickly get out of the way. All right. You can see I've applied siphoning to these enemies, so I'm actually going to be leeching their health when I use my Mage Beam. Now you'll notice there's blight boils throughout the area, and that's part of our philosophy on the combat encounters. If I don't destroy these blight boils, ghouls are going to continue to emerge. So I'm really focused on what targets do I take down first. This enemy is a little bit weaker. I think I'm going to have my companions focus on them while I deal with this grenadier that's given me some problem.
Yeah, I will say, and that's, I'm not on the stick. Corinne is much better at this game than I am. And this
you say that?
Well, most of the time, yes, 100%. But each enemy, again, really leaning into the organic. What I love about the grenadiers is they basically rip off pieces of themselves and throw them at you, which explode as blight. And again, really leaning to the idea that the blight is organic and disgusting.
Oh, I love it.
One thing that I'm noticing is that the combat encounters can get pretty intense. You end up fighting a lot of different enemies. You can absolutely die if you're not careful.
Yes, and this, as we mentioned earlier, this is well into the game. So combat counters have really ramped up. And it really shows the importance of positioning, using your companions wisely, and looking for those synergies and combos.
Oh.
Now, this is interesting. We just went down. We've built our companions to be able to come to our aid. So we're actually going to use a revive here. And Nev to the rescue.
Hey.
And as Corinne mentioned, this is later in the game, and Hossberg itself is what I would consider a later game area.
Oh, okay.
And the encounters a little bit more challenging. It's a more dangerous space. This shows up in the encounter, but it also shows up in the visuals, the storytelling here. This is a place that you don't want to be. You don't want to be in Hossberg. It is full of darkspawn, full of blight, and generally not a pleasant place to be.
Oh my
Well, we'll be able
goodness.
to explore more of the Cauldron when Dragon Age: The Veilguard comes out on October 31st.
No!
In the meantime, we are going to be continuing on with our
end it.
IGN First coverage of Dragon Age for the rest of September. And for everything that's great about games and RPGs, keep it locked on IGN.
Look at the canary drip. Look at the drip. Let me get rid of the captions. Look at the drip. Flipping heck, folks. What did you think? What did we all think? That was so sick. I was so engrossed in every single thing John and Corinne were saying there. Like, oh my lord. I don't want it to end. That 20 minutes just went like that. First of all, immediate impressions. Like, Davrin's voice is amazing, but also does not sound anything like how I expected of Ike Amity doing a character in the BioWare game, considering his interpretation of Javik in Mass Effect, to then go to this very very deep warden. Love it. What we'll do is we'll go from the start. Let's just get initial reactions. I'm not a mage player myself, so did this satisfy everybody who was looking for that mage kind of gameplay? Having an aquarium in the lighthouse, I love how expansive the world is, like how big the levels look while it's still that mission-based thing. It's not just open worlds. There's self-contained missions. The fact that there are, again, it's just quickly coming off the top of the fact that there are cutscenes for talking to even smaller NPCs as opposed to a zoomed-in camera. Love that. Makes it feel more engaging, more over the shoulder, like in Baldur's Gate 3. I'm not a mage player, so people say yes, absolutely, yes, loved it. Mage player, excited, good. I'm all warrior and rogue, so to see that people like this kind of style, fantastic. The fact that you've got a dagger and an orb playthrough, sick. But also just the sheer like scale of the enemies as well and how hard it looks like. I actually enjoy that aspect. I know this is like a high-end, hard combat area towards the end, but still, it does show that there is a lot of diversity to even the levels, the gameplay, the level design itself. A lot of verticality in it. Yeah, I loved everything we saw, to be honest. A Kunari Rook as well. I think that was Alex Jordan's voice. I believe it was his tones. This is a Codicy entry. We'll just go through it. But overall impressions, what are people saying? Everything looks so smooth. It did. It's cute how the orb follows you. Also, Solas's dagger, literally. Loved it. People in IGN were complaining. Screw the people in IGN. As in the comment section. Face animations are rough. We'll have a look at that. So excited to play as a Spellblade. Yes. Lighthouse is gorgeous. It's so cool. Loved it. Annie Sindar said yes. Lysandra said it puts my mind at ease, especially considering you did say that you were nervous about half an hour ago. I'm so excited. Oh, I'm so redacted excited. I'm going to redact it and redact it. DeCaster, love it. I didn't even notice the passive time. Never did I, Nagram. I forgot I was streaming. Oh, I forgot Asan. Oh, my lord. Asan. How freaking cute. Awesome. Yep, chat is excited. Chat, where do we go? Do we just go from the start? We'll just go from the start. So, Lighthouse. I'm not going to compare it to like the Skyhold or anything like that. But I'm also going to stop Corinne and John just so we can actually look at it. But it looks so different, vibrant. I love how expansive it is. It looks like you've got a lot more freedom to explore it. Also having an aquarium. It just looks a lot like you've got a lot more room, a lot more freedom. There's a wardrobe there. Open the wardrobe. But then just how different it looks. I know it's in the Crossroads, so they can have a lot of freedom with it. Frame by frame, yes. So this is, I assume, the main library part where each of the companions meet together, where you discuss the key plot moments. And then, for me, it was the moment they went outside, and it's like, wow, look at it. Oh my lord. First of all, the statue of the Dread Wolf right in the middle. Love that. And then the elven architecture, the autumnal colours coming in there from the trees that look like they're taken from the Arlefan forest itself. And then all of these being separate rooms for... Who's that room? For our companions. And these lights mean that they're free for a conversation, which is so... It means you don't have to run around and be like, do they want to talk to me? No, they don't. The light will just be like, yep, this person actually wants to talk to you. I love that. I do want to see... I assume our room is the library then, and that's what we just came out of. So... This is our room. Is there a bed, folks? Is there a bed? There's a what do you call that? A chaiselong? Chaiselong? Is there a bed? So you've got... It looks like it could be our room. You've got the aquarium. You've got a wardrobe. You've got books. You've got a codex entry. Is that a... No. I can't see what's over here, though. I think that's probably Rook's room or a dressing room. I was squealing the whole time, as you should, Misha. As you should. Blah. Yeah, the lamps is such a good idea. Rivet, what are you sorry about? Yeah, so this is the I want to know what that is. This is the library. You know what? I don't even need to guess, folks, because up here it tells me what it is. Does that change then from going... Yeah, this is the meditation chamber. Okay. So the meditation chamber doesn't sound like Rook's room. So perhaps that's not Rook's room. It's just a place where Rook can change and look at fish, which is freaking amazing. I want elven lamps in my house. Good shout, Jacqueline. So then you go into the library, main area where you all chat. I'm just looking at the elven iconography too. I saw some horns over there. Look at the 0 frescoes on the wall. Are they gonna get fit? I mean, if this is endgame, maybe not. Our bedroom is definitely under the stairs, potentially. So then library. Now, what's this main area called? This is the courtyard. It looks bloody beautiful. So you said Balara and Nev were behind. So Balara or Nev is that one. Harding's the one over here. What's that icon? What's that? I want to see it. Do we meditate with Solas, Disa? Do we meditate while drinking tea? Oh, I'm joking. Never leaving the lighthouse. Literally. Harry Potter reference. It's true. So there's someone. So Balara and Nev. So maybe that's Balara. That's Nev. Balara. Whatever. And then Davrin's up here. And then Harding's in there. So where's Lucanus and where's Tash? Oh, and look, there's an elven icon there. I believe... Oh, yeah, you've also got rooms over here, too. So maybe we're up here. Oh, yeah. Maybe, yeah, it probably goes up. Our room's at the top. That's where we are. Yeah, for sure, for sure. For sure. So we go in here. Harding wants to talk. That's the thing. Like, I want to go talk to Harding. The colours, literally, folks. And also, apparently, the colours change depending on the warmth and the mood and how the fade reacts to the world and people's emotions, which is so sick. I can actually take these off for a minute and just keep the tinfoil hat on. Has Jack seen the pics from X and the hubs? Yes, I have. You know what, Shelley Bean, though? Brilliant idea to bring them back up right this second. Thank you. Before we watch Rook go and talk to Davrin and we examine Davrin's voice, here are the hubs. So we're all thinking that, like, look, no, this is Davrin's room, where, as we can see, he lifts, and he's got his Grey Warden shield over there, and we do see this one anyway. But the other pictures we have are this, I believe, is Tash's. We don't know. Is it Tash's? We're thinking it's Tash's, or it's yeah, we're thinking it's Tash. I don't think it is Tash though. I think it's somebody else's. But you've got a pool. You've got some golden, you know, kind of Ravani almost architecture. And then you've got, I mean, this is Emmerich's, which looks amazing. So it's Emmerich because of just the fashion sense, but the skulls, the Mortar Tassi kind of statues, yeah. I'm sorry I'm going through this really fast. I just want to get back to the trailer. But Balara's room is this one. Can immediately tell it's Balara because of all the Veil Jumper stuff, the triangles, the Veil Jumper logo right there, or sigil. And then you've got Nev's, which I'm loving Nev's. It's literally giving me like crazy tinfoil vibes, and I love that. You can tell it's Nev. It looks like it's Docktown, reflecting her world state, I sense, but just the Tavian architecture, sorry. And then the private investigator board, I love, and all the trinkets. I love this. It's amazing. And then we have this is the one. It's like, is this Lucanus? Lucanus, do you sleep like this? It's either Manfred or Lucanus, and I think considering these are companions, this is Lucanus, bro. And then we have the last one, which I believe is either Harding or Tash. This is probably Tash. So then the other one's Harding. So does Harding have a pool? Because you've got dragons, you've got statues, but then again, it could be Harding. Is it Harding or Tash? What do we think, folks? We're comparing this one and this is Harding going to be having jacuzzi baths during her days at the Lighthouse, or is this more Harding? I'm conflicted. Davrins. All right, you know what, folks? Let's just go back to the gameplay. Forgive me. So we can see Davrin wants to talk. Big chair. Davrin. Oh, you're right. Thanks, folks. Thank you very much. Yeah, big chair, fire. You got fire logs in the background. So I will put the audio back on so you can hear Davrin's voice.
Davrin was attacked.
At some sort of Grey Warden tavern.
It's a secret Warden readout. No idea what goes on there.
His voice is fantastic. So different to what I was expecting.
Then why are you involved?
Because whatever attacked it sounds like the Gloomhowler.
So earlier in Davrin's arc, you were introduced to his nemesis, the
As if somebody is literally going out of their way to hurt griffins. How can you imagine? Yeah, it's so deep though, isn't it? It's brilliant. I love it. Yeah. I want to see more of his room. His PJs as well. Also, Rook's PJs. What is Rook wearing? So you've got this kind of jacket. It's orangey. V. Belt. Yeah, it's cool. Bloodless kitty. And the sun. Oh, the noises the sun makes. I will put the audio.
Just go to the cauldron and get the griffins back. You have to promise to behave, boy. Listen to every word I say, stay out of trouble, don't do anything dumb, and don't eat any.
I think we get the point.
Lancet and Remy told me there's a word for the bond between a griffin and Warden moving as one. Turlum. Until Hassan and I have that, I'm supposed to keep him safe.
So at this point in their relationship, they haven't got Turlum. They're close, it would seem. I mean, what did he say? He said, so Lancet and Remy, who we don't know, who we haven't heard of, I don't think, told me there's a word for a bond between a griffin and a warden, moving as one. Until Hassan and I have that. So even late in the game, it seems that Hassan and Davrin still have that that relationship. They're still growing. It's still a teething process, it would seem, which is adorable. Melting, literally. And then the ops, he needs to learn. He's a baby. What do you mean he needs to learn? He's ready. You're a softie. It's okay to worry. I would probably say it's okay to worry. Yeah, I would say that. Little griffin. Unless he is ready. I'm living for Hassan. Honestly, adorable. Hassan's movements remind me of the goblins in Labyrinth. Oh, Sky, it's brilliant. Oh, it's brilliant. Okay, so I wanted to check if this absolutely is
in the
his
Crossroads.
Between Warden and Griffin.
Maybe that Turlum idea, that unity between Wardens and Griffins, stands by having faith in each other. Oh, starts by.
Maybe. I suppose you were born for this sort of fight, boy. All talent and temper.
And a sharp tongue to remind you of it.
As long as he backs it up.
He is adorable.
So I
He's
assume
so
that Hassan
cute.
can be helpful during the gameplay.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, a
So
lot of
is
Davrin's
this-
abilities revolve around calling a song.
Yeah, thank you, folks. You're right. Yeah, this is definitely the same desk area. Interesting. So that's So then, who has a Grey Warden shield? Before we do go and continue, who has a Grey Warden shield in their hub then? That's defo's. I kid you not. That is definitely a Grey Warden shield. Like, why else would anybody have a Grey Warden shield? Is it a hero for... maybe, is there some kind of connection to somebody, maybe? Doing press-ups? Anybody else know that correlate? Tash? People saying Tash? Really? Tash? 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 So, Harding is the one having the baths. I feel like this is Tash, but no. Okay. She's a treasure hunter. True. True. And it's just, yeah. I was thinking more of a direct. Jim Bro Tash. Yeah. Canary curtains. Oh, okay. Thank you. That's what I'm looking for. More correlation to the actual... Cool. Yeah, I mean, I suppose, yeah. I mean, it doesn't suit Harding, really, does it? I'm just more... I think it's the pool. The Harding is into herbology. Cool. Thank you, chat. Thank you, chat. This is why I like to do this live, too. It's helpful. Harding is outdoorsy. Yeah. Yeah. So that's Davrin's then, and we've just seen that one. Brilliant. Brilliant. Okay. Back to the breakdown. Thank you, chat. I appreciate you. Yeah, we literally just see it there. It just looks so stunning. I just want to go in the mall.
Triggers a combo between your companions.
As Corinne mentioned earlier, one of the interesting, fun things we've done is if you see the lights on in a room, companions have something to say, you can see.
So there's Harding's room right there. And we can go up here as well, which looks like there's more rooms or more spaces.
Harding up in that space there. Nev behind you as well, and Belara. But we have a mission ahead of us. We're going to go find the Gloomhowler if we can. And
did it say what Davrin... Sorry. Did it say... Did Davrin's hub area have a name? Let's have a look quickly.
I am
Guest
particularly
house. Yeah, it's just called the guest house.
A
Let's go
mission
back
ahead
into
of
the
us.
library.
We're going to go find the Gloom Howler if we can, and we're going to go through the Crossroads at North.
So, chairs for everybody. How do we feel about
to do?
the exclamation marks? Anybody fazed by them? Anybody not bothered?
That and the Crossroads, if you've played previous Dragon Age games, Trespasser in particular, is a location in the Fade that contains a number of alluvians, allowing you to travel across Thedas in a matter of minutes. But
So now the
at this point,
Alluvian
the
room.
Crossroads are under assault by the other elven gods. It's a dangerous place, and we are going to be in for a bit of a fight.
And this
Yeah, LB, me too.
and the Beer of Voss is
Oh,
the
thank you, believe it.
central
Yeah.
focus point of the lighthouse. This
I
is
feel
gonna
like you
take
could be
us
able to turn them off.
Solas's
Yes, it is,
area of the Crossroads. and
Darrell.
It might look a little bit different from what you've seen in Trespasser.
Ashley.
Can you tell us a little bit about the role that the Crossroads plays in the structure and the gameplay?
Yeah, so the Crossroads is,
So we get
again,
into the
it's area
Crossroads.
that you spend a lot of time traveling through. As
I
you
mean, look, compared to seeing that in Trespasser, it
From area
the
to
difference
area.
is substantial.
also
But I just love how expansive it looks. You can literally, obviously, Inquisition it did feel, it felt like you were more free. This has that dynamic even more so, where the level design, the movement, the fluidity of it all, it looks like you can just bounce around, drive, go really wherever you want at any point. And also how seamless that was. Yes, they do make a mention of fast travel being in the game, but how seamless it is that you can just go from your hub to the Crossroads, and then you can actually explore this area willy-nilly, doing whatever you want to. Sorry, tinfoil hat came off. Doing whatever you want to, and then they go into, which I'll let them go over it again. Then we can relive Solas's memories, which is like we have some part to play in that. Let's listen to what they say again. I will pause at some points just to take it all in.
Base that has at one point served as Solas's main base of operations and training ground for his rebellion against the elven gods. So as you go through it, you're going to find fragments of the past, the things that Solas had done previously that are going to give you a bit of insight into
things that Solas has passed. Before we get to that though, wait, the lyrium dagger's vibrating like a song in a wine glass. We already know this, but just for those who don't know, Rook somehow gets Solas's dagger, and it clearly has so many powers and abilities, combat-wise, but also as a gameplay point of view. It's Jack, you should hot glue a hair clip to your hat so it can stay on. Escalucia. It's falling off all the time, and I'm having to hold it down. Literally, it can't. My own head cannot handle. My own tinfoil hat cannot handle the tinfoil. Emily, same. The amount of detail already in the Crossroads. The fact that we can just walk in here and there's so much content to digest, and it's side content. It really shouldn't be, but it is. Anyway, I'll let John Epler finish, and I'll put captions back on. I apologize. Put that back on.
elven gods. So as you go through it, you're going to find fragments of the past, the things that Solas had done previously that are going to give you a bit of insight into Solas as a character, but also into the elven gods and their motivations.
Some of my favorite content that you'll find if you go exploring in the Crossroads is these opportunities to actually relive some of the memories Solas had during his rebellion. You actually get to take part in this ancient rebellion.
You get to take part in this ancient rebellion, and we get to see the elven gods' motivations. Now, I'm taking that literally as all the elven gods' motivations, which is something I've been asking for in terms of, like, why they killed Mathal, their right. Oh, we know that they rose to power, but also, like, explaining the rebellion, the fact that they killed the Titans, the mining their bodies for lyrium and something else. I'm literally, right now, making on a huge story recap, and I spent about 20 minutes on Trespasser alone, dissecting the lore of, there's so much shit that went down that we still don't know. The fact that this game is going to answer that with reliving memories in the Fade of Solas and the Elven Gods is something that I have asked for as like kind of like just a fun little shoot the shit and go for it. The fact that we're getting it in this game is amazing. BioWare literally are listening to us, and I don't know how, it sounds like cinematics, it sounds like we get to act in some role of that, but we're going to witness the very war that has set up obviously this narrative and everything, but Solas's scheme. So we're going to get context and proper discoveries of not only Elganan and Gillinan, but also even more context for Solas, and that's going to be helpful for all of us crazy Solarellans and you know, hardcore fans who are into the Elven lore, into all this stuff, but also casual fans who don't know much about Solas, or who don't know about the Elven Pantheon, or don't know what the extents of the Lyrian bodies and the deep icebergs of Dragon Age and the creation of the Blight and the Seven Magisters and stuff. We're now going to get that context, and like the way we're getting it too. It's not just like codices, which I love. You know, we all love codices, we love reading them, but that's for hardcore fans who really read into them and take that extra length. This is for people who are going to search in the Crossroads, do the side content, like in Trespasser DLC, when you do all the Dreadwolf statues, you go through all the puzzles and all the dynamics of that, to then get the content of, oh shit, Solas is Fen'Harel, he did XYZ, he created a rebellion, he removes Valisleen, da-da-da-da, he did that, da-da-da-da. For those who want to go the extra length, do all the content in the Crossroads, we're going to get reliving Solas's memories, understanding his plot and the scheme, and also the motivations of the Elven gods. Kind of also showcasing their flawed side, but also, you know, like all a villain really is a hero story who was untold. So we're going to see their kind of stories and their origin stories of how they became villains. Their kind of, their complexes. And I can't wait to see that too, because I do want to see why I should understand these characters. Or you know, as we know about Dragon Age, it's all about characters who have relatable intentions but awful actions, but there's always a relatable intention behind it. Corypheus was sick of the idea of religion, believing in a god, and wanted to defy that himself, but it was from a point of view of he had spent all of his life searching for a religion that actually, well, that we comprehend doesn't really exist, or at least in his case it was silent, and that made him so sickened with rage that he'd spent so long of his life dedicated to one thing that really didn't exist. Like that, you know, that I want to understand the relatable motivations of Gillinan and Elganan, seemingly at the start when there were some. So I'm excited that we're getting those moments and those character dynamics. That is amazing, and I could talk about that for so long, and I probably will in other videos. But yeah, the fact that, again, it sounds like it's side content, so if you really want to get that content, you're going to have to dig around for it and really, really find it, because that's not even the main game content. Anyway.
Relive some of the memories Solas had during his rebellion. You actually get to take part in this ancient rebellion.
And then we've got a little spirit guardian fellow called the Caretaker. And isn't he just a cute little dude?
Here we have the Caretaker, a mysterious spirit that was actually here before Solas was, and started...
He's here before Solas.
...to help Solas with his rebellion, but also to turn this into a safe haven for spirits.
So he's helping us because we're helping Solas. Literally, alas, reminds me of Charon. Literally. This is where I'm getting a lot of the God of War vibes. Does anybody remember the God of War leak that happened? Sorry, tinfoil hat fell off. You were right about Escaloosa, about stapling it to myself. Does anybody remember the God of War leak from 2023, where a leaker or a playtester had said that the gameplay reminded them of God of War? I can see that right here, and I can see that in the exploration. I'll let this play, and I'll talk about it.
Again, as I mentioned before, the gods are assaulting the Crossroads, so it's no longer the safe haven it once was. But you're going to work with this Caretaker through quite a large amount of ancillary content to rebuild this into that safe home for these creatures. That if anyone knows Solas, he has...
For these creatures, so we're also rebuilding the Crossroads and the heights of Athim, working with the Caretaker as well, to not just stop the Elven gods, but we're rebuilding or retaking over the Crossroads to help Solas, but also to help creatures like spirits, which makes me think of mythical creatures. Maybe in this quest, again, a complete speculation, we're going after griffins. We're going into Hossberg wetlands to go and help these griffins. Maybe we're going to bring them back to the Crossroads so they have a safe place to be. I don't know. Maybe they're going to go to Fortress Weishaupt. It depends, maybe. But it sounds like we're offering spirits and creatures, as they literally say creatures, a safe haven from the Elven gods, from the Blight. Because if they can't go to Thedas, they can go to the Crossroads. Interesting. But, you know, it's that dynamic of, you know, the world's going to shit, where can we take them? No, I get what you mean, no Justice Network. What I mean by is they, at least before they become a villain, before they become a villain always has a complex where they have an understandable motivation. Not relatable. Relatable's the wrong word. Understandable, because we can't all relate to certain machinations with these villains. I chose Corypheus there because I can relate to aspects of that in some regard of but like we're not going to be able to relate to it like a lot of things. But I mean more understandable, more defined, more simplistic to begin with. More okay, that's why they do that X, Y, Z because of that plot line. Relatable, wrong kind of word, but you get what I mean. It's that understood why they became a villain in the first place. And even the Dragon Age writers say that they create these characters with relatable intentions, so you can understand them. Hence why there's so much moral ambiguity in the characters, and hence why we all relate and regard so many other characters in different aspects. Some people love Anders for what Anders represents, for his character dynamics. Some people, like me, I'm not too hot on Anders, but I can appreciate people who do. But it's all these characters and their own machinations and their own things that they have going on that define this world. And that's what I love about the game, because... JD, no! Because it's so complicated and complex. And I love that. And we're not all supposed to just agree at the same thing. It's brilliant. It's art at the end of the day, and I love that. I don't agree to want to be a god, no, JD. I agree to the idea of having faith. That's what I was referring to. Anyway, so, yeah. Does the Crossroads act as a safe haven for us to bring creatures? It sounds like that with spirits.
Work with this caretaker through quite a large amount of ancillary content to rebuild this into that safe home for these creatures. That if anyone knows Solus, he has a tremendous amount of affection for spirits.
Yes, Emily.
Right. Now we're going to get into combat here.
So this is where I mean by God of War. The open
and
space.
This time we're playing as a mage.
Zooming around.
My favorite classes to play. It's primarily a range.
Also, the Norse kind of element of it all. You've got like what's the tree of the people called in Norse mythology? Everybody knows the tree, and it takes you from realm to realm. The tree of life. I'll let somebody in the chat say it. But when you go from that tree, you bridge from Norse realm to Norse realm. The Crossroads are just intellecting realms of Thedas altogether. Realms, levels, or areas of Thedas altogether. And in God of War, you travel... The Yggdrasil, thank you, I said it. Yeah, thank you, folks. The Yggdrasil, yeah. It's like the world tree, yeah. Instead of having the Yggdrasil as you have in God of War, where you just go whoop, and then you walk on into your realm, the Crossroads is like the Yggdrasil, but instead of like just connecting you to there, you're walking from Alluvian to Alluvian in this own contained realm, and then the iconography of having Charion or the Caretaker literally sail you from place to place. This realm kind of being protected as well. Definitely a lot of God of War vibes, and then the gameplay here.
Surrounded by swarming darkspawn,
I can see what people mean.
I really have to use a variety of strategies to control the battlefield.
The strategies, the openness, removing. I'll just load the volume. Removing being able to play as your companions. It does remind me parts of God of War. I can see the inspiration, and then we know that warriors can throw their shields and stuff, which again, it's a good compliment because God of War's combat is fantastic. But yeah, even the level design is different from previous games, as we know already. But we really get a sense of it here with how open the levels are, the crossroads going from one place to the other, and then all the side content within this area. I do get God of War vibes, which is good. It's good. I do like that style. Also, yeah, even more stuff. Yeah, Escalucia, Yggdrasil Crossroads, Solas Loki with Wolves Fenrir. Literally. Exactly, Escalucia. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Also, does that mean we could have a little wolf as in Fenris? And so here we just see a lot of the combinations going down. And I'm just taking in the world. I love the snow. It's making me think of like parts of the game that I've speculated about where they could be in the realm, or in the world, sorry, and it's just been the Crossroads the entire time. The thing that I'm excited about is when I talk about the other parts of the Crossroads being shaped by this world. So here we go. This is it. Very mountainous.
It reflects the waking world. In this case, it's an amalgamation of all the real world spaces that...
So you've got a dwarven door here with a mining cart track.
...are tied to it. In the case, we've got Hossberg, we've got other mountainous regions. So it's kind of this mix of...
So that's a Grey Warden statue. Dwarven statue. So where are these Alluvians going? I mean, that must be a Dwarven Tig. That must be a Grey Warden area.
the swamp.
Because they hint, this is what John Epler says something about. I won't tell you directly where these areas go to, but you can guess. Look at that. That looks like you are going to some majestic Dwarven kingdom. Kalsharok, please. I'll let John speak.
And as you'll see, as we move towards these
Oh, never mind.
other mountainous regions, so it's kind of this mix of the swamp. And as you'll see, as we move towards these alluvions, the architecture around them very clearly reflects...
Don't do that. I'll refresh it. Run 14. It'll be a bit... No. Ads. I apologise for watching my ads. Meet Carl, the fastest man in Wakefield. Brilliant. Thanks, Carl. Where were we?
All right.
I'll lower the volume and I'll put it back in high quality.
Now we're going to get into combat here, and this time we're playing as a mage. Now behind it is really to...
Information of all the real world spaces that are tied to it. In the case, we've got Hossberg, we've got other mountainous regions, so it's kind of this mix of the swamp. And as you'll see, as we move towards these alluvions, the architecture around them very clearly reflects what's on the other side. We're not going to spoiler and tell you exactly.
So the architecture around them very quickly, what does he say?
The architecture around them very clearly reflects what's on the other side. We're not going to spoil.
What's on the other side? So Grey Wardens.
I can tell you exactly.
Because that's Grey Warden Griffin statues. They're both. That's all Grey Warden stuff. Because Griffin there. So Fortress Weishaupt, I would assume that's literally the Griffin Quidditch hoops that we're all speculating to be. So that's taking you to a Grey Warden area.
What's on the other side, but you maybe make a few guesses based on what you're seeing.
And then over here, there's two Alluvians. That's the thing about over here.
You've got other mountainous regions, so it's kind of this mix of this
Dwarven, Tig, Kalsharok. I could throw many guesses. Ozma.
Swamp.
And there's another one. We can't see the other one over here. There's one over here that we can't get to. I assume it could be Dwarven too.
As we move towards these alluvions, the architecture around them very clearly...
Good shout, Liv. What are Nev and Harding talking about in the background? So yeah, two Dwarven Tigs, or at least one Dwarven Tig, Fortress Weishaupt, or one Cunari-centered area, before we then go off to Hossberg or Hossberg wetlands. Where is Hossberg, by the way? Does anybody know where Hossberg is? I'm looking at my maps. Yeah, it's in... it's the capital city of the Enderfells. So it's that north. So warding, let's have a look at what Nev and Harding are saying. When do they start talking? Beat the odds there, Nev. And Harding is going to... Do Templars really not have authority over mages in Tevinter? What happens if there's blood magic? What do they do? Depends on the Templar. Depends on who's bought their loyalty. Ooh, love it. Very coy. Very, What do you do when the authorities can't be trusted to do the right thing? Ooh. That's how I keep busy. Hey, love it. I love how sharp she is. Damn. And so this seemingly looks like the last Alluvian in this area. Do we think we'll see Kirkwall? I would love to see Kirkwall. I don't know if we'll see it. I'd love to, though. Maybe the Black Emporium? No, we're getting a new area for that in the Lighthouse. For the changing your appearance. I'd love to. I'd love a little throwback to it. Like, maybe it's where we'll bury Varric. Take him back to Viscount. Or just take him back to Hightown. Viscount. Take the Viscount back to Hightown.
Any of the new regions in the world, you'll traverse the Crossroads to get there. So
they confirm that fast travel is available. However, you can also just walk from Alluvian to Alluvian if you want to. You get a lot more content if you do that.
Subsequent times, we of course support fast travel. but it behooves you to actually go back and explore the Crossroads,
Love that word, behooves. Love it.
as some of the deepest secrets lie within.
So now you're
We can't judge loading screens based on this because it'll be cut, but that was very quick. We don't know though, do we? We really don't.
in Hossberg wetland. It's an area.
So we go to a Grey Warden area called Greyhold in Hossberg, literally very, very north in the Anderfells. You can see my map over there. It's not north of the Manrafis, but it's literally in the middle of nowhere. Let me tell you that. Yeah. Wait, is it? Yeah, no, it's not north of the Manrafis, but it's in the middle of nowhere. Very blighted as well. What do you mean, Barry Varick? I'm blaming Lisa, my good friend Lisa, who it was jinxing Varick's death. No, she doesn't want. I'm joking. She really doesn't want him to die, but she just thinks it's going to happen, and she has made me consider his death. I don't want him to die.
Area that has been almost completely consumed by the blight. The Grey Wardens have set up an outpost.
Discoveries beacon start faders to unlock fast travel, party member swapping, and respawning at these locations.
Here, again, you know anything about the Grey Wardens, they fight.
So a bunch of Grey Warden architecture while Epler talks about how blighted this area is and the Grey Wardens understanding that blight. Goes on later to say that the blight is now more of an organic substance, an organic tangible thing. From like previous depictions of it being kind of like a plague, it's now like, yeah, it's organic. We've kind of got those interpretations more so when we saw it in Inquisition, where you're seeing people ingesting red lyrium, becoming blighted, but now tangibly it is growing from all over the place.
Fight the blight anywhere they see it, and they're noticing something strange is going on here. The blight is not behaving.
But there's a blight mystery here as well, showcasing how further developing the blight is, and a lot of that also comes to Gillinan. Yeah, Felsenkex. Respawn. So when we die, we just respawn back to a checkpoint area. Interesting.
As they expect and do, and as it historically has. So they've set up shop in this place called Lavendel, and you are here
Love that name,
to
though. Lavendel.
work with them, help them out, and help them find an answer to the questions about the blight.
So this little girl, I will show you, was in the release trailer running with Davrin. I assumed it was Fortress Weishaupt, but it's probably this area. Hossberg. Wetlands. Wastelands. Let me get the pick. We all thought she could have been potentially a Divinity Knight's character, because we haven't seen many children lately in Dragon Age. I think the last one we saw in Inquisition was Connor, but he was 18. Yeah, were there any other children in Inquisition? I can't remember. So it is, you know, interesting to see children models in Dragon Age come back. And that makes it harder to kind of determine who it could be, though. Dawson, what time is it for you? Or are you not impressed? Where are we? Oh, really, Dawson? Wow. Your own son, can you imagine? Kieran, thank you. Yeah, Kieran. Yes, Kieran. How old was he? He was 12, 11. How did I forget about Kieran? Haha. Yeah, Kieran was like the only one. Here we go. So, not the best shot, I know. But we do see Davrin and Rook running away from Darkspawn in a area, it could be anywhere, together with this child, who we can now get the name of.
That they're asking.
Tell me.
Mila, or Mila. I took work orders from all the wardens, so assume she's, well, yeah, this is a Grey Warden camp. Assume she's a warden, or she's working with the wardens, or she's a merchant working with this dude.
Me a little bit more about
Fedus, Dawson, Fedus.
this area. It looks a little bit like a hub where you can get a lot of quests and things like that.
That's right. So here we find one of the bases of the Grey Wardens. So you'll see they've really built up a small fighting force here to hold off the Darkspawn. What's more, the Grey Wardens are a faction we're going to be working with throughout the game. We've got Holden, one of the Grey Wardens.
Yeah, Callie, Connor. I do remember, I always have him in Inquisition. Yeah.
And quartermasters.
So you can, interestingly, you can like upgrade shops, which is an interesting mechanic that I see in games like Assassin's Creed, pardon me, or like an MMO, which is, I suppose it's a great way to kind of find a merchant that you really like who sells armor that you really enjoy with whatever faction, and then you can just upgrade that merchant so that you're not then kind of having this organic thing in games where you're just looking for next merchant, higher gear. This way, it's kind of like, okay, I know that Holden in the wetlands is really good at merchant gear for my Grey Warden specs or my Grey Warden armor, or he always sells really good stuff, so I'll just upgrade his shop and go back to him, and I like that. Again, that's me speculating, but I assume, yeah, rank up merchants and unlock new items. So it's a great way to kind of stay loyal and keep you going back to that area too, to that particular character and that particular merchant for whatever wares they sell. Also dependent on their factions, because as we do see, he upgrades our wardens.
We're going to upgrade his shop and see what items he has in store for us, see if maybe it gives us an edge in combat.
He upgrades he upgrades Davrin. They choose to upgrade Davrin's longsword. So even not just Rook, but also our companions.
And they understand the stakes of the gods being out. They want to help you.
He does look like Carver, doesn't
he? But you need to help them first. They have, again, as Corinne mentioned, they're holding off the dark spine here. They have other.
Yeah, what is the currency? It's true.
Actions.
That's coin. But then you had other resources. So you've got this faction. You got the faction. Okay, you've got a power aspect here. Oh. Look at that. So that's going to have a rolled, and if you press L on the pad thing, that'll open up to showcase the power, the remark. That looks like a faction level. So the higher your faction level, the better gear you can get. And to upgrade this shop, actually, you need at least 1,500 Grey Warden points or power with them. So that is cool. We need to see what it's going to be like, because it might be like, I don't think it will be like Inquisition, because I've learned a lot from it. But where it like kind of stops you from progressing in the plot unless you have a certain amount of power. I reckon it won't do that. But I reckon that the more you engage with side content, the more you engage with these factions, these characters, you're going to then have access to these higher shops and whatever other things they're going to do. I don't think it's going to lock you out of stuff, but the more you engage, the better it will be. What is everybody going for their first Rook? I'll give you all like a good minute, because I really want to see. I am all for a Morn Watcher. I'm absolutely doing a Morn Watcher, two-handed sword, Rook, and I really can't wait for it. I need to think of more of a backstory for them, but yeah, I'm all for the necrotic dark fantasy. I mean, dark fantasy anyway. The game's full of it, but the gothic fashion sense, pure gothic vibes. I'm loving that that element of it, and then being best friends with Manfred and Emmerich. Yeah, I cannot wait to see the fashion sense. Callie, Grey Warden, or Crow. KC, Crow. Misha, Antivan, Crow. Villainous Kitty, Caw. Oh, Shelly Bean, Shadow Dragon, Spellblade. Nice. Nori, Veil Jumper. Z Prussia, Elf Mage, not sure faction. Mage, Warden. Antivan, Crow. Crow is so popular. Angry Dragon Puppy, Shadow Dragon, just because it fits best to my Rook. Oh, hell yeah. Elven Mage, Veil Jumper, Shadow Dragon, Antivan, Reaper. Hell yeah. Reaper does sound like a really interesting warrior. I do want to see... I know we did just watch a warrior. I want to see two-handed, though. Just being selfish. Shadow Dragon and Morn Watcher. Yeah, LBI, I get it. I do get it. Emily, at this point, I think I'm on board. Everyone, I think... I have bored everyone to death with my choice of Rook. Emily, remind me again of your Rook. Lord of Fortune. Nice. Aranus. Fortune. Tia. Nice. Jack, check 420 and the mini map. Do you see a Varric icon? Are you trying to joke with 420? Are you joking with 420? I think you're joking with... Let's have a look. Do I see Varric on the minimap?
And this Alluvian.
I can't... Oh, I-City. I-City, I do. Oh, I-City, I love you. Yes. Thank you, I-City. Oh, we do. Let me zoom that in. Thank you, iCity. Oh. Let me... Lord of Fortune Spellbird is sick, Emily. That's sick. Let me, Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a boring rook in the slightest. I think I'm going quite vanilla with a two-handed warrior Morn Watcher. But I think the warrior Morn Watcher thing will have an interesting dynamic. But I just love warriors and holding massive swords. City Cat, you're a legend. Look at that. That is... If that isn't Varric, then slap my ass and call me Andraste. Come on, that's Varric. That is Varric, isn't it? That is... My boy, he's not dead. Right, let me send it to Lisa. Unless it's an icon for his corpse. Let me send it to Lisa. Oh, let's live chat, Lisa. I need to mark it as a spoiler though. Let me Lisa at Lisa. There we go. I've added it, Lisa. How dare you? I know. It's Lisa. She made me this way. No, he's alive. He is alive. Come on. His corpse reanimated by Emmerich. Rivet, yeah. Presumably injured, though. Yeah, we presume that he's going to get injured. But that's why he's not going to be a companion this time. Press F. Yeah, it's where you press F to pay respects. Oh no! Lisa said there's still time. Don't celebrate yet. No. No. She's twisting the knife. She is twisting the knife. But yeah. So he's at least alive in the end game. At least there's that, okay? At least we can breathe for a moment. He's not going to die. Lisa is right. Don't say that, River. Don't feed into her. Lisa, you menace. She just put ah. Oh, eh. Look, I want him to live, okay? No, he's alive and well. Just fixing it. Exactly, Liv. Exactly. He's still going to retire. Yes, he's just going to retire. He's going to read. He's going to finish his books. Cassandra's going to read them. And then he's going to finish Bianca and fix her. Drop a coin for your storytelling. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, no. He's alive. Thank you, City. I really appreciate that. Lisa, here she is. There she is. There she is. Lisa, explain yourself. Look, Lisa, we can see that Varric, quite plainly, here, is alive. I've lost it already. But we saw his radar, and I sent it to you anyway. He's alive in the end game. And he's going to have a happy ending, and he's going to retire. No, Emily, no. City, well, you told me, so I appreciate you telling me. Anyway, I can't read all the chat where you said who sourced it. I'm trying to find it right now. But thank you anyway for at least pointing it out to me, whoever it was on Twitter. Okay. Regardless though, City, you told me, so thank you for telling me. Lisa. No, Lisa, no. Yeah, it's Varric's grave. It's actually an icon of Varric's grave. It's where you pay F to pay respects. Lisa, what did you think of the 2020... What did you think of the 22 minutes of gameplay while we've got you? Before you go and tell us about Varric's demise. Oh, Cassandra. I wonder if we'll see Cassandra. I reckon we'll hear of the Divine. For sure. So yeah, Varric is alive. Thank you for that. We'll then go back to 9:40, where we're back in this place. Yeah, it's true, Emily. We do need some tragedy, and I do want to get the tissues out and have a good cry. No, I'm all for the angst and the tragedy. I want to see how. I actually genuinely want to see how dark BioWare can go. I feel like Andromeda was really tame. Nothing really bad happened in that game. Inquisition, like, it went places, but, like, it still felt like everybody besides the DLCs was pretty safe. Everybody was pretty safe. I do want to see how dark Solas can go and how evil BioWare can go with our choices too. I want to see how mean Rook can be. So I do actually want to see some tragedy. I'm also on that ship. I do like dark, and I just want to see, I want to, you know, I want to see how dark BioWare can go. I really do. So yeah, because BioWare have said that this game, you know, it's all about choices and our choices, and I really think that if we choose one thing out versus the other, and we're putting two people against each other, there should be some consequences for that. And I mean, I say that the Inquisition wasn't dark. You could choose between Hawk and Alistair. Iron Bull could betray you. You could kill the Chargers. There were dark choices, of course, but I still for this game, I felt like a lot of the companions were pretty much safe besides Trespasser. So I want to see how unsafe our companions can feel. And looking at like Scout Harding and the Bruisers, looking at already pitting between Nev and Harding in the intro, which might be a tiny thing, but already that's a good sign, because I just want to see how complicated things can be. And I do honestly, maybe it might be a hot take, I want more Iron Bull moments in this game of like, okay, you didn't side with the Grey Wardens for that one quest, so Darren's dead, or going to betray you, or this is going to happen now, and because you've done something, you know, it needing to be a justifiable bad choice. So you didn't do that one thing, everybody died, Davrin's now going to do that, or Ned's going to do this, or Harding's going to leave and come back at the end, but still going to leave for that. You know, I want to see those consequences come if we are choosing between life or death, or if we're being a shit character, etc. I do want, yeah, I want it to feel like the Veilguard, as much as it is going to be about creating this organization, the family, the friends, the atmosphere of that. I do want to see the consequences of our actions. Surely the conses won't quench. Oh man. BioWare was dark in Jade Empire. Yeah, exactly. I'd like to see more of that. And as much as I want soul level enclosure, that doesn't have to be nice, happy things. I want to see, you know, the thing about when we say we all want soul level enclosure is we all have different expectations and views on what that could be. I want soul level enclosure to see that Solas be really, really, really dark and evil, like he's set out to be in Trespasser. Yes, I'm going to take these off for a second because they get annoying. Yes, we want the happy ending, guess them to run off together to get that stuff, but we want it. Yes, it does. Watch it. Oh, what's that? Dessa, explain that point. But yeah, we all want the happy ending for them to go together and stuff. But also, there's the other aspects of it. Of Solas is walking the Denantiral, the path of death. He does not want Llewellyn to see what he will become. Right then, let's see Solas go full on evil. Let's see the full on Dreadwolf actually rise and come out and destroy shit. Let's have a choice, not all of it, but let's have a choice where the Inquisitor dies, trying to save Solas. Let's have Solas become the literal Dreadwolf. Let's have Solas destroy the Veil. Let's have the dreadful shit that Solas was going to do just to bring out the varying consequences of his own actions. There's closure in so many aspects, and parts of that is actually Solas doing what he's going to do. And that not being good for Llewellyn in the same regard too. That's the thing, when we all say we want conclusions for Solas' character, we all need to embrace the conclusions for somebody who is literally seeking elven, what does he say, restoration is going to bring. And there needs to be a variety of consequences for elven restoration, however that may look. Not just like, oh well, I will end the world with you. No. Solas can get what he wants, but at the cost of something, like Llewellyn. So I do want to see the heartbreak, the tragedy. And I'm not saying, and again, I'm saying multiple conclusions, but also one of them where Solas is actually the Dreadwolf and does get what he wants. And that can be like pissing off Rook, not having a good relationship with him, and going down a very, very bad playthrough. But we need that to be a conclusion too, as much as we all want the happy stuff. Emily says, push him, Solas. I want to see where he gets the dread in his name. Exactly. And I honestly, I really want to see the evil dread. I want to see parts of that narrative of him being full on dreadful. I do. I love Solas. He's my favourite Dragon Age character. I want to see how far he can be pushed at the same time, understanding that this is an RPG based on choices and consequences, and there will be the happy ending in there. There'll be the medium ending of, well, maybe Solas comes back as a wisdom spirit and he gets restored in that regard, but he forgets his memories. But there also needs to be one where actually he goes full throttle, shit gets cranked up to 20th gear, and we see him embracing his darker side. We have the Dark Solas theme in Trespasser for a reason. We have these plot nuances of him letting go of the villain, telling him he's walking the path of death. Only death will become, only death, joins him. And it's been 10 years since that. How dark has he become since then? What is he willing to do? So, yeah, small rebuttal there. But, yeah, when everybody says they want Sullivan closure, I hope that people really know what they mean when saying that, because there are a variety of consequences for Solas's actions. And I'm all on board for every single bit of that. For all of my many, many different playthroughs of being best friends with him, to romancing him, to maybe even egging him on. We'll see. The dark side of the egg. Hector, I couldn't have said it better than myself. Disa says, I just need one happy option to play, even if that isn't my canon, because let's be real, we need the angst. Yeah, we need all facets of the egg. Scramble him, fry him, boil him, draw a smiley face on him. Yeah. Anyway, back to the Grey Wardens in Hossberg.
Allows them to more meaningfully
I'll put the audio back on, and I'll probably put my headphones back on.
To your fight against the Elven Gods.
So what does John Epler there say about the fight against the Elven Gods? I put captions back.
But you need to help them first.
The Grey Wardens, you need to help them, but they need to help you, and they will egging him on exactly. You need their help against the Elven Gods, but they also need your help. Soft and hard boil.
They have, again, as Corinne mentioned,
I will throw him at Elkin Man. Rip it.
They're holding off the dark spine here. They have other priorities, so getting them more.
So what other priorities do the Grey Wardens have besides the Elven Gods? I assume in this kind of world, it's the blight and its organic nature taking hold. Again, an assumption there. But like that's still tied to the Elven Gods, but it's in its own way where actually it's being manipulated differently, and they're uncovering this new kind of evolution of the blight. So I can understand why it ties to the Elven Gods, but it's still contained in its own way. You're helping them both out. You're helping the fight against the Elven Gods in that dynamic, but also it's still detached enough where Grey Ones are focusing just on that. Help them, and they'll help you.
More powerful allows.
Oh, Awakened Darkspawn. I would love to see more of that. I would love that. Yes, I think it's at the moment it sounds like it is Gillilan's monstrosities and her own. She is the creator of giants, gods, and giants, beasts, and monsters. It's her own monstrosities and kind of using a viscous grey fluid that was in the deep roads to to what's a good word to describe like completely monstificating something, completely like I don't know, demonizing them. Hello, Ivan. She's making them horrific. Yeah, what's a good word for that? I know, I'm like flipping heck. Completely monstificating them. Yeah. So while I would love to see intelligent darkspawn, this is different. Corrupting them, yeah, not strong though. Blighting them, they're already blighted though. They're already blighted. Corrupting them, like the personification of making them even more monstrous than they already are. They're already corrupted though. Better word, more tangible. Anyway, we're going to go with monstificating. So they're already blighted, they're already monsters, they're already gross, but Gillinan is blighting them even further, tainting them even further. Defiling! Yes! Emily, thank you. Wordsmith in the chat. Thank you, Emily. Yeah, defiling, twisting, mutilating. Yes, yes, yeah. Defiling, twisting, mutilating. Frankensteining. Yeah, there we go, chat. Yeah. Optimizing their build. Yeah, so they're already... Ooh, flipping heck. Yeah, all those words. It's combined. Thank you, chat. Thank you. Yeah. So they're already blighted. They're already corrupt. But then they're being even more twisted that we'll see in a minute. But we saw Darkspawn before and they were kind of fine in the Crossroads. But then here they've got even more horns, even more twisted. So maybe they're also going to be intelligent. I don't know. But yeah, we'll come on
to more meaningfully contribute to your fight against the Elven gods.
So where are we going next?
All right, so we're heading out of the Grey Warden Fortress into the small town of Lavendel. Now, this used to be a beautiful place full of life, flowers, and you can see what effect the blight has had. But the residents are still here. They're trying to make the most of their lives, and you can see there's plenty of opportunities to help them. In fact, we're going to quickly check in with Finn the physician and see what he has in store for us.
Finn the physician.
So Flynn, again, one of the focuses of...
So again, I just want to say that I'm content that actually we go and speak with NPCs and actually it's not a zoomed in camera. It's more of a Dragon Age Origins, Baldur's Gate 3 approach of it's a cinematic. And I love that. You're more engrossed in the story and the characters. When it's like the zoomed out thing, talking to Dennett, the Horsemaster, it's like, yeah, I get the conversation, but I'm not really in it. Even though Rook doesn't speak, at least on one of these, I'm actually engaged in the character. You can see their face. You're getting more of it. And exactly, Alast, the long hair. Yeah.
This game is characters, not causes.
I've been busy with patients, but I'm short on medical supplies. My mentor, Oscar, he should have some. He has a cabin outside the village. If you're out there, tell him you saw Flynn, and they could use his help.
And Flynn is a warden who you will do quests with. We wanted to make sure that the side content of Dragon Age Veilguard felt as meaningful and tied to the overall conflict of the game as anything else you do. We don't want you to just go off and do random tasks. Everything needs to feel meaningful, either contributing to your fight against the gods or contributing to the growth of your companions and the factions that
Sorry, the armor, sick. Also, hair, sick. And the NPCs look beautiful.
Your side to stop the gods.
You look a bit worried.
We're not sure where some of our wardens are, Beckett and a few others. We're supposed to check in. We need to look out for each other more than ever. It's just... I know...
Just want to touch upon what John Epler just said. I don't know if you can hear it. You probably did hear him. Side content actually matters, and even looking at the quests here, you're going to go help... You're going to go find Oscar in a cabin in the woods, or you're going to get potions, or whatever this quest is. It's like... It sounds initially fetch quest at the start, but you're going out there already on the mission, following its own path to then do that content. And the fact that it is, you know, not just collect 20,000 shards for a Kunari face paint that you probably can't even use if you're not playing as a Kunari and you give it to Iron Bull. Like, it seems like it's actually more in the world. We don't see these quests, so I can't really confirm that, because this is just telling me, oh, go and find Oscar in a cabin in the woods, which again sounds more of an actual side content than a fetch quest. And then I don't even know what this one is.
I know they took Weishaupt hard, and I hope they're okay.
Whoa. Shit. Is that a spoiler? Whoa, wait. What did she say? Let me... She's talking about Weishaupt.
Or contributing to the growth of your companions.
Right, let me see what she says. So John talks
you do.
over this. I'm going to read it.
To you to just go off and do random tasks. Everything needs to feel meaningful.
It came through so fast, I didn't have time to grab. I don't know. So Flynn must be local. Then they saw the blight surge through the place. It's home. Rook, I'm Greta. Good to have you here. You look a bit worried. We're not sure where some of our wardens are, Beckett and a few others. We're supposed to check in. We need to look out for each other more than ever. It's just, I know they took Weishaupt hard, and I hope they're okay. Woo! Shit. We knew it was coming. If you've watched any of my videos, we knew it was coming. We knew it was coming. So is that a quest or not? Okay, wait, there we go. Lives spared. So it's to look for the other ones. So that is actually... That to me sounds more like a side quest, to look for the other wardens in throughout the level, to then help the ones rally themselves up together. Yeah, it sounds like Weishaupt is absolutely gone. Oh, Emily, you didn't mind the shards quest? I didn't mind them on my first playthrough. I liked exploring, and I didn't mind it when I was like you shouldn't do this, but listening to music or watching something while playing Dragon Age, like an MMO where you're kind of just doing both at the same time. But I don't want to play a Dragon Age to have that experience. I do want to get engrossed in it. So yeah, at last, after what we can piece together is after Gilliland's assault on Weishaupt, it's going to shit. Weishaupt was Haupt, yeah. Oh shit. But yeah, so basically what I'm saying is, I appreciate that the level design is more compact. It's not open world, hub based worlds. However, there is better side content from what we can tell. And even these quests are taking you alongside the main narrative path, like in Dragon Age Origins. So I like that.
Up a couple of quests in Lavendel, but we're here to help Davrin. So we're going to make our way through the perils of Hossberg and try to get to this Warden Fortress of the Cauldron.
Seeing a lot of kind of organic matter. I suppose that's the blight.
Absolutely. So the blight at this point, as mentioned before, the Warden
City says Weishaupt is Weiss out. I bit on my own. I bit my own cheek when I did that. Weiss gone. Oh, Weiss happened. Oh no, chat, no, no. As if Weiss that's what I want. I mean, I don't want Weishaupt to be completely perished. But like dynamic choices and also shit to go awry, for there to be stakes and consequences in this mission, because the fact that that's kind of in the middle part of the narrative too, like with our Inquisition, Corypheus destroyed Haven in the first act, and that was the only bad thing he did that we impacted. It seems like in the Veilguard, if Weishaupt gets taken in the Jack malfunction, I did wiped out. With things happening in the middle of the narrative, it just shows that the Elven Gods are doing shit. There's consequences. It's an imperative. Things are happening out of our control, and it's bringing on that narrative, urging it on, as opposed to, oh yeah, that one bad thing happened in Act 1. But really, I can't remember what the villain's doing, and I don't really know why I'm invested in this plot. And actually, I should probably go pick up those shards, because I haven't seen Corypheus in a while, and I'm not really feeling compelled to really fight him. Whereas, oh shit, we've lost the literal headquarters of the Wardens by an Elven God who is connected to the Blight. What the hell is she going to do with a order who is intrinsically connected to the Blight, and what is she doing with their headquarters? Which already has so many rumours and speculation anyway. The Griffins were literally just found there. So yeah, I love that. Consequences, stakes, people. What we've been asking for. A villain with a tangible threat. And that literally looks like it's Weishaupt going Weiss over, Weissed out. Exactly.
As I understand, it's changed. It's become a lot more organic, a lot more alive. You know, back in Dragon Age 2, Inquisition, Origins, the Blight, while it was a slow-moving wall, it didn't have this almost sentience, this almost thought behind it. And obviously, we've talked about how the gods that are out are blighted. That probably has something to do with it, and it's made this area.
John Epler says that the Elven Gods who are blighted probably have something to do with this. But does that indicate that they might not just be the cause of it too? We already know the Blight's natural progression anyway, since Inquisition with Red Lyrium. Are there going to be other factors that are going to play into the Blight's corruption? I think that, like, the actual nature of the Blight could be from a Titan. So maybe while the Elven Gods are blighted and are going to be bringing forth the Blight via Darkspawn, twisted other things, what if there's also a blighted Titan too? Like, if the Blight is the end goal of the game and the first ever thing we faced, so it's going to be like the ending of it, what are other forces at play that are also blighted that can make the world even more blighted? And don't forget Mafal's connection to the Blight. She speaks a calling too. So I think even with the Elven Gods defeat, the Blight will still be the next threat in the next game, because the Blight is the ultimate threat of Dragon Age. It always has been. The fools who unleashed this Blight onto the world didn't have a clue of what they were doing, is what Solas said. So that means that it was unleashed by, we assume, the Elven Pantheon. So how was it unleashed? What was the origin of it? Was it a curse that the Elven Gods made? Was it did the Titans create it? Did the Elven Gods experiment on a Titan? Did they find it from the void? Did the Forgotten Ones have it and it came from the void and then it got into the Pantheon? It was unleashed. Now, I think in that context of Solas saying the people who unleashed it didn't know what they were doing, that could be the Seven Magisters who found the darkness and permeated in the darkness. Maybe he's referring to that. I don't think he is, though. I think that's what we all think, and he wants us to think. Oh, he's talking about Corypheus, of course. He's talking about the other Seven Magisters. But I think he's actually talking about the real. It's like a red herring. It's like, actually, yes, that does relate to the Seven Magisters, but actually, it's the original people who unleashed the Blight, which we still don't know, but it sounds like we're going to find out a lot more in this game. So, yeah, there could be many, many, many other things besides Algernon and Gillinan that are increasing the Blight. Andrul went to the Void, and she chased the Forgotten Ones and then spoke of madness and brought back weapons of the Void. And Mafal zapped her power, and we assume that power was the Blight. It's true. But that's just the Blight already existing in the Void. How did the Blight exist in the Void in the first place? That's just one example of it existing. What about its actual origin? What about how it was created? Why it was created? What is it? Is it a plague? What was it created as a side effect? Was it created? It's also got a hive mind connection, similar to the dwarves. There are so many facets of it too. Dead corrupted. I think alas, that's yeah. I think dead corrupted Titan or a Titan failsafe. Titans are a hive mind. The Blight is a hive mind. Did a Titan dying unleash the Blight, and that Titan is that could be a central thing in Thedas. It's a blighted Titan. It's spreading the Blight. It's dying, or it's against the Evanurus, or it's against the entire world because the Evanurus warred against the Titan, so it wants to kill everything. Was it unleashed as a side effect of killing a Titan? Is it again like a failsafe, like they unleash it, And what we do know, I think, tinfoil for a moment, did Solas stop the Blight? Did Solas stop the Blight spreading when he created the Veil? And so he stopped it for a time. He sealed it away in the Void, with the Veil's creation or somewhere, and because it was quiet. And then it was unleashed again, and we know it predates the Veil anyway, because it existed in the time of the Ancient Elven. If we look at Andrul, we look at Mafal, we look at the Titans, it existed then. So, it already existed pre-Veil, and it stopped for a while until the Seven Magisters entered the Black City and came back. So did Solas creating the Veil stop it for a time, so he found one way to stop it, and then once the Magisters entered the Fade physically and came back physically, having somewhat of a severed tie in the physical worlds, that being at least the first entrance since creating the Veil. Nobody else did that, as we know, physically going into the Fade via blood magic, etc. Did that then unleash it again? So it was put on hold for a while, or it was at least ravaging parts of the Black City, the Fade away, but it was still not actually in the physical realm, and then bringing back that connection from the waking world to the physical world, to the dreaming world, then brought it back. Yeah. The caster, we're talking about the Blight. Pardon me. So that's what I think. And that means how the hell would we stop it now? Who knows? All we do know is that killing the old gods won't do it, though. The Blight is more than just an archdemon. So, yeah. And as we can see that now, because it's becoming even more organic, which is just showcasing even more facets of it being organic, and that makes me think that it's a Titan. It's a living thing. Red Lyrium's living. So many theories. I think it comes down to the Titans. We'll find out, though. It could be the Void. It could be the Forgotten Ones. It could be so many facets of things that we don't even understand. Yeah. Yes, Raphael, we did see Varric's head. Varric isn't dead. He is in the game, at least, unless we want to pay F. No, it's true. The caster, it's true. Varric is alive. He's alive. Let me show you. Look at this. Look at this. Look at him. Look at him. He's upstairs. The chevron means he's upstairs. He's alive! He's in bed. He's taking a nap, but he's not dead. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Whoop, 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 whoop. He's just having a little nap. A little dwarf nap. He deserves it. Oh, thank you, Ivan, for the super chat. And Jewel, look at this new shit, Mathal OMG no. Others, thing about Mathal is, like, she also killed a Titan. So as much as she is a voice of reason, she cared for her people. She, what else does Celeste say? Many things. Like, she also killed a Titan. And the Titan's death was what spurred Solas's rebellion on. When he saw that because it depicted so many things, so much lust for power by the Evaneris. So, yeah, that's the thing. Like, she also has a darker side to her too, that Solas kind of remedies or accepts. But yeah, there is that. She did kill a Titan. Yeah, the caster we brought Lisa on. Yeah, she did. No, I City Dawn. I City Dawn. No, stop that. Stop. No, don't say that. Don't say that. No. And JD in bed with his chest hair exposed like Jeff Goldblum. Varric is doing the all Uthenera. Yeah. Yeah. I think so. Felsinkex, or had something to do with it. Emily, okay, but what if Mathal created the Blight and had it tucked away as a secret weapon in the void, and Andrul found it, especially since Mathal speaks the calling? Oh my goodness, yes. And literally, like, elven gods love to tuck away their weapons and hide them away, and then somebody else releases it, like Solas's orb. I like that, because she speaks the calling, so unless zapping her power allowed her to do that, there's definitely a bigger connection to her and the Blight. And hiding it in the void would be a good place to hide it. Yeah, he's drafting up his novel. Exactly. Exactly. Anyway, so back to Blight stuff. This is where we're going to see the Gillinan twisted, mutilated, defiled Darkspawn even at works even further. They also confirm Venatori, as we knew, as enemies, but also Antam as enemies. We didn't know that. Confirmed. We knew. But we didn't know, like 100% that Kunari and Tam were going to be enemies in this game. But Kunari and Tam are going to be enemies in this game.
Far more dangerous than it would have been before.
And you might notice as we get into combat with some of these Darkspawn that they do look a little bit different than...
Look at the horns on that boy! Yeah, so this is where they're going to explain the difference. I will give more context in a minute.
Before, and that's very intentional. Gillinan, the god of monsters, she uses Blight like a medium to sculpt and warp the Darkspawn to do her bidding, to suit her purposes.
Look at that dude over there. Let me pause. So, like a medium to sculpt and warp.
Darkspawn to do
this
her
dude
bidding
with the
to
horns. Look at him with his spikes. So, just quickly, for those who haven't read Horror of Hallmark or haven't checked out the reading that we've done of it, if you do want to fully get into the immersion of the Horror of Hallmark, I do recommend at least listening to it before going into the Veilguard, just to give you some context. But Gillinan, the god of the monsters, has these pools of viscous grey fluid in locked away elven tags. They're elven tags in the deep roads, so it's like, ooh, elven and dwarf stuff crossing over. Anyway, through these pools, we see the Darkspawn leading Grey Wardens in to turn them into Darkspawn, and then they get mutilated into disgusting, monstrous creatures. One of the former lovers of Grey Warden, Ramesh, gets turned into a centipede with a human face, but it's all twisted and gross, so he's a blighted centipede monster. Not even like this dude. Like, he is gross, Lovecraftian shit. But then he still has parts of his essence. But then he gets twisted and turned. And we believe from the novel that it's like high priests of Gillinan that are doing it. And so Gillinan is doing the same stuff now for the Darkspawn. She's twisting them and mutilating them to make them even more gross, even more powerful, and as they explain, even more blighted. To do her bidding. So maybe that's how they control the Blight? Maybe the elven gods don't directly control the blight because they didn't create it, they aren't related to it, but because Elganan is using her powers to manipulate them, maybe. And then that's what she's going to do, the two old gods. Is she going to find them and the Grey Wardens? The Grey Wardens know where the two remaining old gods are. If they can't directly control the blight, is Gillinan just going to twist them and mutilate them in order to control them? Gross.
Suit her purposes.
So right now you'll see a couple of Hurlocks, one with some pretty disgusting growths on its back. Again, the idea that the Darkspawn and the Blight is an organic weapon. They're not just coming out and, making swords, making armor. They're using the Blight to augment themselves so they can more effectively defeat you and also give the gods the world that they desire.
The world that they desire, a blighted world. Again, just the word organic weapon, it made me think of a Titan. Again, like organic, living, real. Titans, living, real. Lyrium, living, alive. Red Lyrium, living, alive, but blighted. It's just all, it's tying together, which I appreciate. It might not be a Titan, but I'm just seeing those similarities.
All right, now I'm actually going to switch to my Orb and Dagger on the Mage. And those of you that were fans of the Knight Enchanter in Dragon Age Inquisition, you might feel right at home with this. This is a more melee-focused, more agile version of the Mage. One of the main mechanics here is you can use this elemental orb to apply stacks of elemental damage to the enemy and then unleash them with your dagger to detonate them.
So, again, we're in, you'll notice that there are blight pools. The Darkspawn aren't just coming out of nowhere.
Blight pools sounds like viscous grey fluid from the elven ruins in the book, but I don't know if that's what you... I think he's talking about the sacks.
The blight is spawning them. Again, part of Gillian's attempt to turn this into an army for the gods is to use these Darkspawn, not just, again...
I'm saying, like, it's spot on. It's spot on like Horror Hallmark.
Whereas you have the Venatori and the Antom, one case representing magical power, in the other case representing physical strength, the Darkspawn are representing overwhelming force.
That was a pretty clutch heal. Well,
I love that. So it's confirming at least 3 major forces against us in the game: Venatori, Antam, and the Darkspawn. The Darkspawn just literally being an overwhelming force. Venatori, mage, and then Cunari, physical. So I love that dynamic. But yeah, it's just showcasing the pure corruption, and look just at the level design as well. People have been saying in the chat, no more Dark Fantasy, ha ha ha. Like, exactly. As in taking the mick out of people who are like, I want Dragon Age to be dark again. Look at this. And also the fact that this game is coming out on Halloween is perfect. It also just makes me so happy that I am being a Morn Watcher. I'm going to get that proper, real gothic vibe on Halloween. It'll be great. But yeah, taking in all of this Dark Fantasy, we're getting mutilated creatures with the Blight being an organic bioweapon, plus literally Adamant Fortress. Weishaupt being taken over by Gillinan.
a little earlier, by the way.
You know, we've
also really cool beam shot. I love beam shots. It reminds me of one of the weapons in Andromeda, and it was so fun. And one of them in Mass Effect trilogy, was it the Prothean beam rifle? Something like that. Yeah.
talked at length before that our fans have asked us, where is the healing magic? Can you bring it back? And Nev in this game, happy to oblige with a kit of...
Yeah, Nicholas, I think the Venatori are working with the Elven Gods, but we don't know. It hasn't been confirmed. But unless they're confirming it there, because the Antam could quite easily work with the Elven Gods. And the Venatori most definitely are, because we see them fighting against... Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Venatori are. I'm not sure about the Antam. But there was a scene in the release trailer where we could see the Venatori just fighting against our Rook alongside the Elven Gods. So... yeah, I think maybe what John Epler was saying there, though, correct me if I'm wrong, was John Epler saying you've got the overwhelming force of the Darkspawn, you've got the magic of the Venatori, and you've got the physical force of the Cunari, all umbrellaed under the Elven Gods? Is that what John Epler was saying, or am I taking that too literally? Because that literally sounds insane for the Elven Gods as an army. And I love it. I love it because it's kind of just like pure sense of dread, pure sense of this is going to be a last stands mission we're going all in against a huge colossal army. Hence why we need factions to join up against us, because we're going against, you know, so many other factions and forces too. So we need 6 factions to help us. Am I taking that too literally? What does chat think? Because it kind of actually could be the case. Like, Corypheus just had the Venatori, who he made of all the Red Templars, whereas actually, nope, the Elven Gods have potentially 3 armies against them. It's crazy.
Healing spells.
So one of the interesting things that I love about our companions is each of them, their abilities, the way that they're built, they're very thematically appropriate to the character. They're very focused on making sure that the gameplay and the narrative are as closely aligned as possible. In the case of Nev versus Vlar versus Amrik, our mages, each of them has a healing ability that is thematically appropriate to them. It makes sense when you know them as a character.
Watching you play, I'm struck by sort of the size and the scope of this particular area. It seems like there's a lot of exploration that I can be doing right here.
That was really one of our goals with...
We get a common appearance here. Common appearance of foot soldiers, arraignments plus heartwood and gold.
These areas. Of
And
course, we are a
of course.
mission-based.
Again, yeah, I love the expansiveness of the level. Again, like I said before, the momentum looks great. The fluidity of it all. Inquisition was really fluid from Origins and 2. Every Dragon Age game has been more fluid, from Origins, where you couldn't even jump. I know you couldn't jump in 2, but you were stuck to the ground in Origins, very much bulky. 2, you could at least leap, and it was action oriented and it was faster. Inquisition, we got a jump button and the open worlds and fade stepping. This, more of an expansion of that. Worlds are more tighter, but it still feels more fluid, more open, but the momentum is definitely more increased, and it's also like you can cancel out mid-actions too. So they're just always improving upon that fluidity, and the level design really showcases that too. While the worlds are smaller, they seem bigger in their level, in their verticality, sorry. You know, and the fact I think that the camera's closer to you, get that sense too. It feels like you really are on Rook, as opposed to having more of that pulled out camera. So I actually appreciate it a lot.
This game, but we really emphasize player autonomy. You can revisit these spaces.
Okay, using companions' abilities with the Lyrium Dagger. So this is where we're going to use them. We heard about this with the Game Informer article, where it talked about Bellara getting an ability to move these massive rocks, and then the Rook could have it as well, without having Bellara in the party. And this is what we see throughout this level. We are using Asan to help us break through blighted stuff, but we don't have Davrin with us. But it's a way to mitigate it. Actually, you just use your dagger, and you can still have those abilities run wild without having those companions in there.
They're full of secrets, puzzles, some pretty incredible bosses and treasure. And of course, as we saw earlier in Lavendel, some really narratively rich side quests.
So Griffins can do that because they're good against the Blight. Besides a ritual, it's explained in Last Flight, but they're used for a reason. Until there was a ritual that basically they used Grey Warden blood, and that made them less effective against the Blight. I can't remember why they did that ritual, but they essentially, that's hence why Asan is defeating Blight with his beak.
One thing that's interesting is you'll find we're going on a quest for Davrin, but Davrin is not currently in our party. That's because Davrin has gone ahead of us and is waiting for us at the Cauldron. This is, again, we want the followers, the companions, to feel like they have autonomy, and while they won't complete the quest on their own, they will go ahead and get things ready. So when you get there, you can you talk to them, you'll have a conversation with them, and it feels like they're as invested in the success of their journey, their stories, as you are.
This looks like a pretty contiguous zone, is that right?
It is, yes. So it's full of branching paths, different areas to explore. And what I love is the more content you do in the area, the more shortcuts you're going to discover. You're really going to have a lot more flexibility in how you navigate between your remaining missions and quests.
Just reminds me again of God of War. I was to say Baldur's Gate then, but I ended up saying God of get anyway. Where like you get a realm, you go and explore it, and you come back, and there's more to do. And I get that vibe a lot, and I get what that QA tester was saying a year ago or a year and a half ago. Of it's got that God of War feel. You go to a realm, you explore it, you come back. The level design's made to come back, get more chests, get more loot, do more quests. So I like that. And I think it's better doing that than having a massive sprawling open hub-based world with fetch quests that make you don't want to go back. This, you find more shortcuts, you find more loot. There's more of a gameplay feel to it. It's more of an actual gamification of it as opposed to get all the shards because you don't even know what you get or get them. It feels more dynamic and it keeps you coming back. But also the quests in there too, literally. Yeah, exactly, the caster. Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I think something really interesting too about the way that our team has built these spaces is there's the idea of each space has its own story to tell. And while those quests, we talked earlier about those quests and side quests being narratively relevant, they also contribute to a more of a meta story about the space itself. So in the case of Hossberg, we talked about how this is an area surrounded by blight, and you're kind of getting to the center of what exactly is going on in Hossberg and Lavendale. And these quests that you do and the content Corinne is currently engaged in helps to tell that story.
So again, just re-emphasizing that there is a quest line to Hossberg that revolves around the organic nature of the blight, why it's even more corrupt here. And so I want to jump straight in. I want to see what the hell's going on with it. Hell yeah. Also, that beam ability just looks really fun. I'm not 100% hot on playing as a mage currently, but mage is my least favorite class in Dragon Age just because I am more into two-handed sword cleaving, charging at enemies. But it looks good fun.
All right, we can see our companions are up here attacking this dark spawn on their own. Let's give them a quick hand.
Nicholas says, can we expect a God of War style endgame combat then? I would love that with the Elven Gods. Yes, I would love that. And that's the thing, like, it's a good comparison to make. I don't say that very blasé. God of War was a fantastic game, like a 9.5 out of 10. 10 out of 10 game of the year because of its redefining its own franchise, but also the gameplay, the level design, the story, fantastic. But another dynamic narratively, God of War is the reboot is set in the Norse mythology, which Dragon Age is of course taking direct inspiration from too, with Fen'Harel, Fenrir, Mathal, a lot of it's obviously that they've taken parts of different laws too, but Solas's storyline in particular, similar to Ragnarok, you can make a kind of regard for. You can make a few guesses at particular Norse gods that the Elven gods are based on too, but that kind of Ragnarok storyline as well. So it's a good comparison to make with God of War and God of War Ragnarok for the Veilguard, narratively, but also combat-wise too. Yeah, because God of War, beautiful gameplay, beautiful story exposition, character dynamics and that, and then all of it wrapping up the storyline of Ragnarok was fantastic. Also about Loki, a god of rebellion. So yeah, it's a good comparison to make.
All right, and I love positional gameplay, making use of the environment.
Ivan says, I hope we see Inky. Do you want to spoil it or not? Well, we're already talking about spoilers, to be fair. That's the thing about the nature of content right now, folks. I apologize, but my content is based on the marketing, and I will be talking about the spoilers that BioWare reveal. Not spoilers that other people reveal or leak or anything like that. If, like, not spoilers once the game's out, sorry. I'm talking about the stuff that we reveal, like this, and talking about that. We do know that the Inquisitor is coming back, and we are going to create them in the character creator at the start of the game, which is amazing!
Moves, so
they talk about takedowns, which is sick to see that we're getting takedowns in this game.
I'm really focused on using
in a Dragon Age game, brilliant. Again, similar to God of War, which is a great combat system to be inspired from.
I could go a full takedown.
Oh, Shelley Bean, the senior news editor at IGN hinted at an upcoming character creator tease. I did see that, and I'm excited.
Build if I like. It's a really powerful, heavy-hitting style of gameplay.
So we can see we get to the final part of this mission. I can't tell if it's Grey Warden architecture or not.
You'll notice Davern is waiting for us, so let's see what he has to say.
We'll watch
The
this.
sun flies in.
Yeah, a bad day at the cauldron.
What could do that?
What have they been hiding inside?
So
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. First of all, look at Davern's drip. I know that we haven't looked at Rook's drip properly, but look at his cape, first of all.
Do that.
Look at his drip. It looks sick. That is so cool. His armor. Nev's wearing her usual attire. Again, amazing. But Davern, the cape and everything. And then it looks like it could just be mage armor, because this is the necromancer class thing. I can't remember what it's called. But it looks also Morn Watchery. Definitely Morn Watcher vibes. They swapped out Harding for Davern in this cutscene, it would seem. Also, Asan, beautiful. Even just the shots from this game look stunning. Literally, LB, a fairy tale princess is spot on. Yeah, Morn Watcher for sure, for sure.
What have they been hiding inside?
So
I mean, it makes sense for the necromancer mage class too, doesn't it?
something tore through the gate. That's probably not great. Looks like we should probably get moving.
We won't find out standing around here.
Be ready for anything.
So because we don't have Davern in our party, he's going to move ahead and wait for us.
So they just cut Harding out of the cinematic and just had Nev in there, but Harding is back in the party. She was just cut out for that cinematic. Death Caller, thank you, Liv.
We bring Nev
So they
and
use the
Harding
Rook
along
Blade
to
again.
clear a path for ourselves to find Davern and get to where he is.
Can you talk a little bit about how Nev and Harding sort of synergize during the combat?
Yeah, so Nev and
So
Harding...
talking about combat again, I just want to kind of take in this area. Castle grounds, blight, grey, viscous fluid. That's where you can change your party. This little thing here. And it's also a checkpoint and a fast travel. So if you wanted to, I actually appreciate, because there's nothing worse than a game when you get to the end and you haven't got the right gear, you need more health potions, you want to spec out before a boss, and you want to go back, and you can't, you just go back all the way through the level. Now, you can fast travel to the castle grounds back from the main area from before, go to the merchant, get what you wanted, and come back. Love that.
Harding is a rogue, and each of the classes, and you can build a party entirely of one class if you want, but the idea is that the classes synergize and they can set up and detonate each other's
Fast travel,
abilities in a
wee!
very
Exactly.
interesting way. Now, because you have a lot of freedom.
So
in how
talking
you
about
build your
synergy,
character,
we already know
you can,
this,
again,
staggering
as I said, you
enemies
can
and
have
using
all
Nev
party,
and
all
Scott
mage party,
Harding.
all warrior party, it still works.
Using a health
But in
potion from
this
Nev.
case,
I can't wait to have
and
Nev in
Harding
my party, honestly.
are very effective
Healing
at setting up
alone
and
sells
in
it for
this
me.
case, as Corinne's going to show.
So we're in danger here, and this is really what I love about the
I'm in
tactical layer of
danger.
combat. If you get in that clutch situation where you've got this devastating incoming attack, great time to pause gameplay.
Yeah, the fact that character creator is potentially up next is very exciting because we all want to see it. But more so, like I said at the start, we don't just want to see it, we want to play it. We want to play it, don't we? We want a demo of it so we can go, yep.
All right. You can see I've applied siphoning to these enemies, so I'm actually going to be leeching their health.
That's a
when
cool
I use
spell.
my mage beam.
So I love the knife spells where you throw knives at enemies and then the
You'll
beam.
notice there's
That's fun.
blight boils throughout the area, and that's part of our philosophy on the combat encounters. If I don't destroy these blight boils, ghouls are going to continue to emerge. So I'm really focused on what targets do I take down first.
So more combat here, really. It looks all well and fun.
Yeah, I will say, and that's no, I'm not on the stick. Corinne is much better at this game than I am, and this
You say that?
well.
I'm foaming at the mouth for a character crit. Yes, Villainous Kitty.
Each
Sim,
enemy again really
when-
running into organic. What I love about the Grenadiers is
This
they
month, we're
basically
getting more
pop
content.
pieces themselves
I wonder
and
if we're going to
put them
get
in, which explode
articles in
as
other
blight.
forms, or if it all is
Completely
just
including
video
the blight
content.
is organic
I
and
assume it'll be
disgusting.
articles too. For sure.
One thing that I'm noticing is that the combat encounters can get pretty intense. You end up fighting a lot of different enemies. You can absolutely die if you're not careful.
Yes, and this, as we mentioned earlier, this is well into the game. So combat counters have really ramped up, and it really shows the importance of positioning, using your companions wisely, And looking for those synergies
Davrin's voice. It's a brilliant voice, honestly.
Now, this
It's
is
fantastic.
interesting. We just went down. We've built our companions.
My
to
Inquisitor will
come
look.
to our aid. So
Hell
we're
yes.
actually gonna use a
Hell yes,
revive
Ivan.
here.
So if you didn't revive, you just go to the checkpoint which we saw before anyway, I
As
believe.
Corinne mentioned, this is later in the game, and Hossberg itself is what I would consider a later game area, and the encounters are a little bit more challenging. It's a more dangerous space. This shows up in the encounters, but it also shows up in the visuals, the storytelling here. This is a place that you don't.
I love the
you
just
don't
switching
want to be
between
in
orb
Hossberg.
and
It
dagger
is
and staff is
full
brilliant.
of darkspawn,
Okay, let's start talking about plot now. Sorry, I completely zoned out there. If they named it the Cauldron, it probably wasn't great on its best day.
You don't want to be in Hossberg. It is full of darkspawn, full of blight, and generally
Yeah, Amber, I didn't have the commentary on deliberately because it was just synergy combat stuff. I was talking over it.
not a pleasant place to be.
Well, we'll be able to explore more of the Cauldron when Dragon Age the Veilguard comes out on October 31st. In the meantime, we are going to be continuing on with our IGN First coverage of Dragon Age for the rest of September and for everything that's great about games.
So there is that one. I want to quickly just watch this one quickly just to ads. Just to compare the fluidity of Mage and Warrior. I am going to have the volume off because, I mean, it was just music actually. Just to compare how fluid this one was compared to the other one. Sorry, Warrior and Mage quickly. Ads. What even are these ads, honestly? I thought they were supposed to be personalized. So, I mean, that to me looks so fun as a Warrior. Just a lot more. I love the more, just the fluid approach. It looks fantastic. Yeah, I'm gonna be a Warrior for sure. I'm definitely gonna be a Warrior. So we assume this is before we go to the Cauldron. It just looks so fun. Nice and fluid. And then just the setting up of combo opportunities. Not this ad again. Yeah, I'm really, I personally am more of a fan of the Warrior combat, just because for me it's more about tangible feel, the physical element, the abilities. But I want to see more of the magic. But of course, we want to play the game to find that stuff out too. You don't want it all to be spoilt to you before, unless you do. But I personally do want to. Look at that. Oh, and that parry. It just looks so... that just looks epic. It really does. The parrying, the dodging, the throwing his shield, then the takedown. Oh, go on. Give him hell. Yeah. I'm all for the Warrior. Personally. But I know chat is quite a mix. Next, I think we need to see an Archer. Or more of the Rogue. At least Rogue high level, right? Because we only saw Rogue at level 0. Yeah. I'm feeling this combat a lot. I want to see two-handed. Yeah, again, God of War again as well the caster. Yeah, for sure. It is giving God of War inspiration, which is brilliant. Like the weight, but also like the epicness of it too. The combinations, obviously it's always been in Dragon Age, but it feels more... the new system has been designed more for it. Abominate. Look at that. It just looks really fun to play, honestly. So yeah, I'll be going as a Warrior first. And then, yeah, so I think... ads. We need to see Warrior two-handed, Rogue bow, more of the mages, and probably more of the Rogue as a whole because we've only seen them lower-level combat. I'm not trying to be too spoiled, but even like a video of 30 seconds of each of the classes together. Each of the classes' specializations would be really good to see. 30 seconds each. But we'll see if we'll actually see that. I don't know. Maybe is that asking for too much? Maybe if it was in like a spoiler-free region. But yeah. Oh, Veil Ranger. Yeah, I want to see Veil. Yeah, I want to see them all. I mean, yeah, I do want to see them all. Just before, just to get a sense. But it's also fun to work out for yourself, I suppose. I just want to see the two-handed dynamic, the two-handed sword dynamic, and how, like, them heaving through it. I'm gonna play it anyway, but I do want to see that. I mean, even if I go for weapon and sword, sorry, sword and shield, it looks so fun. Oh, that's a good question. If I was a font, I'd be Comic Sans. Also, amazing name. Do you think we'll get another roadmap for the IGN content? I would hope so, but because it's just IGN, I reckon they'll just do their own thing and just go, right, you're getting this, or you get it when you get it. IGN did they even tweet about this? I think I only saw it because it was a premiere and announced on our YouTube, but I don't even think they tweeted about this. I can't remember. So we kind of need to, unfortunately, have notifications on IGN's accounts. I'll check Twitter, because I actually haven't checked Twitter since streaming. So I don't know what they're saying. Okay, let's have a look. I'm just getting everybody's reactions so far. Oh, there's that one done. Yeah, I can't see anything so far on IGN. Okay, so quite a number of spoilers. We'll double spoilers. Yeah, I can't see anything on IGN's front. Just the confirmation of more content soon. I kind of wish they were going to show the next part of the mission. I get it, they're not going to. But I was like, you can see the cauldron for yourself in the game's release. And I get it. But I'm like, we're already seeing it now. I'd like to just see it in the next part. But no. Bonus look at IGN's replies. I'm looking. Check out 20 to 22 minutes of footage. Our month-long IGN coverage begins. People are saying mean things. I can't see any IGN replies. I'm still looking at their replies. I can't see any replies regarding Dragon Age. So, nope. We're just going to have to... I mean, you've got me. I'll be following them. I'll be keeping up with whatever they post. I reckon it'll be some article content next, and then we'll get another video. We'll be getting the character creator for sure. There'll be like a walk around the hub video, I reckon. We'll be walking around the lighthouse. That'll be for sure. Yeah, I reckon it'll be more hub stuff. I hope we're going to get an Archer stuff. Yeah, I'm going to end this in a couple of minutes, but give me a few words, everybody, what you're thinking now. We started this of everybody's current level of excitement, measurement of the fandom, the news, everything. Give me a few words of what describes your current level of Dragon Age excitement or thoughts at the moment, having watched and broken down this 22 minutes of gameplay content. For me, I've given you all my opinions. You can tell I'm freaking hyped and excited. I'm not as hot on the mage gameplay as I thought I would be. Maybe I need to see it more. Maybe it was just that particular class, the Death Chase or whatever they're called, wasn't hitting me. But I also I'm not too bothered about mages. But then Asan, the Blight, the revelations about that stuff, all of it together, the Lighthouse, hell yeah. Squealing, Acid Reflex, Rabid, don't want to see any more until launch. Looking forward to the game, cautiously optimistic. Gnawing at the bars of my enclosure. Face is too smooth but excited, screaming, crying, throwing up. excited, blessed. I think I agree with you, Jack. Thank you, Elast. Yeah. Like what I've seen, we are blessed. Screaming, crying, perfect storm, dwelling, kisses. I can make all the tables worse. We did mention that, yeah. I did share Shelley being about the lighthouse changing around you personally. Yeah. Yeah, last I think I'm in that camp of I'll definitely play as a mage, and then I see warrior, and I'm like, rabid. What a word. Yes. Yeah, I did see that Safrai did. A dev tweeted, if you don't want spoilers, just listen. Just watch it, don't listen to it. You did the opposite, which I understand. Yeah. I live, breathe, and bleed Dragon Age hype right now. Definitely going on a mage, but it's changed my mind about Spellblade. Perhaps too difficult for me. Chomping at the bit, as you should. Can't wait. 100% excite, as you should be. I'm a rogue girly, so I'm never worried about mages, but I'm also so hyped to explore and gather all the secrets like the lore goblin I am. Hell yes. Yeah, I am a war boy. What's the opposite of a girly boy? So as much as I'd like to go for a rogue, I do love rogues. My Inquisitor was mainly a rogue, and I loved rogue a lot more in Inquisition. But deep down, I'm a warrior, and I am excited for more of that warrior. Just to play as a two-handed warrior and really experience that. Well, folks, thank you all for joining me for this 2.5-hour breakdown reaction of this 22-minute gameplay. I really appreciate it. I'm literally going to go now, get some food, and edit my next video, which I am pausing any kind of content right now until this video's out, because it's a massive, massive, huge recap of all the Dragon Age games, the lore, the books, the media, the films, the shows, and all the games and the DLCs all together in like an hour and 27-minute video, trying to be as approachable to new fans but also hardcore fans at the same time. It's the biggest non-podcast video I've ever made, so it is going. It's a behemoth. So yeah, it's almost done though. I've been working on it 2 weeks straight, in between lots of things. But I'm not working on any other stuff before that's out, because I don't want to have the propensity to start working on one video, and then another video, and another video, and not release something. I'm not like that. I want to do one at a time, and I appreciate the hype and the excitement of all the new content, but I need to just do one thing at a time. I'm a one-person guy, a one-time thing. I will do that, and that's the only thing I will do, and I'll get that out, and I'll work on one video. I can try and write 5 videos at a time, but I don't do that. So, also, though, I do have Rook Club tomorrow. I'll be joined by plenty of people in the chat too, like the wonderful Emily. And we're doing Murder by Death Mages. If you want to get more Sventonite's lore in you before Dragon Age comes out, we're going to be talking about that and its connections to the Veilguard, but just looking at the Navaran political scene when the Mortalatasi get involved. Ooh. And it brings back a character from Inquisition, Sidoni, who is an Inquisition agent who you can play as in the multiplayer. Thank you all again for the really heartwarming comments. I can see you all flooding through it right now. It really means a lot. No, don't worry, I am looking at them myself. I like to take time at the same time, and yeah, you know what I'm like. I also have a full-time job too, so it's hard to also sit down and chill out. But no, I really appreciate you all coming in, watching me break this down, and yeah, my humble self can barely take it. So thank you all again for checking this out with me and watching my reaction, as well as reacting all of this to me and all of the exciting revelations we've broke down. Hopefully I'll see quite a few of you tomorrow for Rook Club. The video is already scheduled on my channel if you want to check it out, or remind yourself to check it out. It'll be really good fun. But yeah, thank you all again, and let me know all of your comments down below if you've watched this as a VOD. But until then, I have been Jackdaw, and I should go.